for a GT again.
Like Krennic.
I registered for Richmond Open next month. I got to figure out what I'm playing.
Very nice. Good people go to that. Like, it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, no, I've been talking to a couple of the local guys. It's like, wow, that's a pretty stacked meta. I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah.
We have to
I
I have to
mentioned
not
it
play
to
Cassian or Boss.
I
Play
mentioned it to
Krennic.
Whispering Kestrel, and he's like, "Oh, there goes my hope of winning it." Like, why?
I plan on bringing my Mando PLC and probably Vader Kiadi as a backup if I can't come up with something more fun.
I mean, that does sound fun.
I kind of like that Maul Hondo idea. Just like whatever it is, I'm probably gonna play once, right? Like it's a list I'm gonna play once. I'm just gonna play Mando PLC, or it's like if I don't want to play into a PLC mirror, would I play it?
I mean,
Matt,
if there was a time to be playing
Maul Hondo was a blast.
If there's a time to be playing Maul right now, it's right now. Like the show is fucking sick.
I was being like, do I just go Maul armor? Was my thing like? That's what I was debating, just doing Maul armor.
It's good
because it's easy.
It's good.
I know it. I obviously haven't played a game since Adepticon. I won't play a game between now and Saturday.
I mean, Maul is still the same as he.
5 days I'm playing another GT.
Maul is still the same as he used to be. You draw him. If you can get 2 points, you go with him. If you can't, you reserve him. It's the same thing. Like,
and I feel like I'd rather run Maul armor than armor Mando.
Yeah, and you just send armor into the supports all day, every day.
That was my thought as my backup list.
So Matt, like Maul, Wrecker, Weakways, Hondo, Ezra. Wingard's decent there, or you could do Lando and Bartu.
Yeah, the list that you played into me, right?
Yeah, there's so much steadfast in that list, and Maul can get Ezra to jump into engagement, and then you can whip a lightsaber with 2 more dice. Because
I wish Maul had an era extension to where he could just run Ezra under him. I really do.
I mean, it would rule. It would be great, but there's nothing more thematic than putting Ezra with Hondo and Maul.
I mean, that's fair.
All the shady people at once.
But you could also run Ezra under armor. You don't need bow.
You can't run Ezra with armor. The eras don't line up.
I mean, fair. Actually, yeah, you're right. Don't listen to me.
It's funny. I
thought a lot about where I could put Ezra. Ezra's my man.
So we made a little agreement. Booker, Chris, Nesquik, Nick, and myself about like, yeah, we won't bring Boss, we won't bring Cassian, and then Lamb Chop signs up, and I'm like, he might bring Boss, and part of me was like, I'll kind of message and be like, so listen, the 4 of us are making an agreement to not do this. It's a gentleman's agreement. You certainly don't have to follow, but like, we are gentleman's agreement that we don't want to bring. It all started from Sunday night sitting at the Airbnb of like, I just don't want to have to bring this. Like, it's a GT. It doesn't matter, right? It's this season. It's like last season's prizes. Todd got some extra stuff, but like it's more that it will get you a first round bye next year. So this will be the only GT I get to play in before next Adepticon. So I'm like, screw it. I still just don't want to play Cassian or Boss. So we all agreed not to play Cassian or Boss.
I think it'll be fun. It'll make it more fun, I think, for you guys.
I want to go. I just want to make day 2 so I can play Shatterpoint both days. And if not, I'm just gonna hang out and drink with Todd on Sunday and rabble razz people.
And we know that's a great time.
Yeah. Punish me.
Yeah, the venue sells drinks there, like the store. So yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Apparently
good.
they're good drinks. So I get in Friday. I intentionally took an earlier flight. I'm like, what is the latest flight I can leave to still help my wife get the kids to daycare in the morning, but then get there as early as possible. So I landed in Phoenix at like 1 on Friday. So
that's how I did it for Adepticon. I did daycare.
Hello, Chris.
And then hit the airport.
In a shot, they rebound Maul out of Wound Life Thingy and open up the era. I guess we'll see in May sometime, right?
Yeah, I really was hoping they would have dropped it before the 2. There's 2 GTs that May 2nd, 3rd. There's Richmond Open and there's Rocky Mountain Open. I really wish they would have dropped it before. I mean, they still could, right? Like, there's nothing saying they can't, but I wish they would just have said, like, it's going to come out in the end of April, just so the GT season starts off clean.
I mean, here's what you really do is every Friday leading up, you just go and you refresh the facts and errata page, and maybe they'll just accidentally upload all the unit cards. They've done it before.
It has happened.
The big thing to me is like what happens as a TO if it comes out like Friday the 1st, right? Like I don't know if they've ruled it. We already ruled for us, right? Like I already told for our GT on May 30th, I said as long as it's out by May 22nd, so the Friday before, a full week before, it's live. I said it's legal if it's out by May 22nd, and May 22nd, that Friday is the official release date for Morgan and Balin. And I'm like, unless they get delayed, as long as they fully preview the cards 2 weeks before the event, I'm okay with it. Because that means the community will have a week to figure out what doesn't work, and then they'll have a week to get rulings in. And worst case, I'm gonna be blowing up Thoris nonstop the week of, saying, "Can you give me a ruling for this? Can you give me a ruling for this?" Because I know a bunch of my locals want to play Balin and Morg. Like, so I think they're gonna jam them last minute, even if they have no testing, just to have fun and do something new. So it would be really cool. Like, I'm excited for the Top Deck GT if we have new errata and Balin and Morg. I think it'll really spice things up. I have prizes left over from, well, we'll have the new GT stuff. I have a couple extra things that were not part of the GT kit to give out as GT prizes, along with stuff I 3D printed, and the store is doing a ton of stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. Aegis brand. Leland, hello. Somebody's new card makes you feel like my call on changing things up to Naboo keyword may actually be a thing. I'm excited to see what comes of that. Like,
Sabe's card is really cool.
Yeah.
Any kind of place effect like that is, I mean, that it doesn't exist in Shatterpoint that I can think of, but like an MCP being able to place at range 1 of something is a very powerful effect.
And as Leland says, he got an ad. But as Leland said,
Qui-Gon's absolutely gonna get Naboo,
Like
we called that the second we saw the Qui-Gon box. That's my first thought, was like, oh, here you go, just give the whole Padme
only because it has Panaka in it. If it didn't have them, I think it would be a different story.
Exactly. Yeah, having somebody tying that box to Naboo is absolutely why they're going to give him Naboo. So
Panaka or Tanaka?
Panaka.
Okay, I was right the first time. Okay.
You know, do you guys know what happened to him after the Phantom Menace? Because he did go on to become an Imperial Moff.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, Palpatine made him Moff of the Naboo sector.
I mean, that makes sense. Which is kind of sad, actually, seeing his character. Like, it doesn't really seem in line with his character. Because, like, he was... I don't know. Like, he kind of saw through the bullshit.
But also somewhat distrustful of the Jedi and their decision-making.
Yeah. But
I do have two things I want to do. I know most of the episode is what we've been up to, basically. I do want to shout out reminder that Nova tickets go live like in a week. So I won't be here next week. And do I spread the bad news about PAX?
Yeah, you should. You really should.
Right, fine. Yeah. We'll talk about it on the episode.
I wouldn't talk about the other thing though, because we don't.
I haven't even said to my local. Every time I go to type it out to my local Discord, I get sad. Oh yeah, no, Chris, it's even worse. There's no Shatterpoint at PAX. It's not a Star Wars. It's not an AMG decision. It's not a me decision. It's a PAX decision. We'll
get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll talk more.
Minis games have always been kind of secondary for what.
Yeah, I get it. So I understand it. It's no. I don't feel bad. I feel like we got slighted. It just hurts. But I also, when we talk about it and I explain, like Matt Morgan, the guy who runs PAX all over the world, like he runs all events and all PAX everywhere, emailed me and said, "Call me when you have a chance." And he called me to tell me the bad news. That's how bad he felt about it.
I mean, that being said, Matt has a Traeger and floor space.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can confirm. This kitchen table can fit 2 Shatterpoint games on it.
All right, let's go ahead and get the show on the road and let's get going.
GT's out of your house.
Oh, true.
I bring my game table for it. I've got a 6x4 portable game table.
We're on live.
You got a garage.
Move into your Daimyo Dojo too. Whatever.
Welcome, my young apprentice. Stretch out with your feelings. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
I'm actually going to stop this real quick because my bandwidth just completely plummeted with streaming to 2 different channels.
What
Oh,
channels
don't
are
you
you
hate
doing?
that?
Because Riverside right now is set up to stream to Daimyo Dojo. So I'm streaming to 2 different channels.
Oh,
So
that's why you mentioned Daimyo Joe.
Yeah, I was wondering when he said, I was like, did somebody see something in the chat? Like, what was going on? I'm so confused.
yes, let me fix this real
I
quick.
now understand. Yeah, that was the fun of like, we were sitting here for the draft episode and we're like, I don't know where Diz is. I was about to be like, Todd, do you want to do yours? And I think it was Phil. You were like, Matt, don't you have one for Daimyo? I'm like, I do have one for Daimyo Dojo. Let's do it.
That is true.
Live stream. Turn
That's what
that
happened.
off. Why will not let me turn this off? Okay, let me see again now. Is it going to try streaming again? It says live.
In the right
Really,
place.
it is. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Stop.
Maybe because the episode still says Adepticon draft. Does that change anything?
Let me do this, or I'm gonna give you guys a new link. Technical difficulties. Da, 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 da. Man, these things are so crazy. All right, new. This one for reals. Or I know what I'm doing sometimes. So we don't want to record or stream.
Yeehaw. Oh yeah, I forgot to get I have to get one of the Pew Pew shirts. The Momentum Struggle. I meant to grab one. Well, I meant to grab one. I'm like, oh, I'll grab one on my way out the door. And then Sunday, and like went to Todd, I'm like, can I get one? He's like, we already packed them up. And I'm like, I'll get one from you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I was gonna get one from him as well, and I forgot. Okay. So I think it'll work this time. All right. Hitting these buttons. Hitting this button. All right. What's the show without some kind of difficulty?
Yeah.
It's on
been what?
brand.
It's been what, 3 weeks?
I'm making sure you shut off from this one. The
that
it's
all?
dirty.
4 weeks.
It's dirty. The Ducky Show is dirty.
The Ducky Show?
Oh, the Ducky shirt. The Ducky shirt. I had a. You didn't see the Ducky shirt apparently.
I saw
I
it. No, I saw
okay,
it.
okay,
I think you
yeah.
said Ducky Show, and I'm
They're
like,
great.
I did say
I'm
Ducky
like,
Show,
weren't we
but like,
just
I
talking about?
can't.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, were we just talking about the mall show?
I
I
can't
have
speak.
not watched yet.
All right. I watched the first episode.
I watched both. Pretty great.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch the other ones yet.
I normally don't watch shows until they're fully released. This might be one I hate watching shows weekly. It's in my mind, it's 2026. I don't want to watch a show once a week.
We're gonna
Don't binge it
watch. I'm probably gonna watch the second one after this. But all right, I'm hitting buttons again.
Literal third time's the charm.
stretch out with your feelings.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Back to another episode of Rogue Support, where we're always in your corner of the cantina, and we always have technical difficulties. Yeah, it's still streaming, like it's like dual streaming
How
to
you
the
know
same
we're here.
stream, but it's not streaming to yours anymore. Now it's streaming 2 streams to ours, and I don't know what's going on. Sure.
We're live. It counts.
You would like to join the conversation, click on the link in the description to go join the Discord. If you would like to become a patron and support the show, go ahead and click on that link and follow the steps, because Patreon do things. And if you want more Star Wars content, go check out Goonhammer Media Network, where they have all sorts of articles and videos and all sorts of stuff for your gaming needs. With that, I forgot. Oh, let's just do the news first. News.
Stuck the landing, man. That was pretty good.
News?
Considering you're like 4 weeks out of practice.
Oh man, I'm also like smoked from like the last like week and a half, 2 weeks now. So let's do news. Qui-Gon bonus content win. How to keep the joke going. Get some games in Wasabi. Holy crap, she now feels epic. So bonus content will be coming soon. We're kind of resetting from Adepticon. I just had a weekend out with the wife, so
I just moved across state lines about like 800 miles.
So, and I'm about to
We've been
move,
busy.
and I'm about to move across the country again for the 20th time.
Yeah, I got off a plane from Adepticon at 4:50 in the morning local time and was loading a truck by 9. So
You're a madman. You're a madman. But with that,
it was a rough week.
so the bonus content is still going to be coming. We're still going to be working on it. It's still going to come out. Just bear with us as we accusers. Looks like he's living in a closet right now.
It's not far off.
When I first saw you, I was like, did she put you in a closet? Like,
It is the third bedroom of an apartment. It is just filled with boxes right now because we're not done.
that's good sound dampening. That's really good for acoustics. Something.
I mean, is the audio okay? Because I'm not on my AirPods at my dining table right now.
No, that sounds great. I like your new headphones. It looks a lot better. So
Yeah, I feel a lot more professional.
that's good.
Now
that's
we see you
good.
shave your head and join the bald meta, bald
This
beard
is true.
meta. I mean,
This
I
is true.
just,
So
I just
Matt, when you're washing your face, where do you stop?
it's,
Other news that we have. So with the recent news of Shatterpoint, we've taken a lot of time and deliberation. That sounds like a good word for this. To consider about where we want to go as Rogue Support, what we want to continue to do, and we kind of came to the decision that like we don't want to stop doing weekly content. However, it's going to be hard to do weekly content with a New York summer fire hose, whatever you want to call it, watering hose, whatever. I don't know what am I looking for. Like a sprinkler. There it
I
is.
think just like the lack
What
of
is-
new like right, like
I'm
with
not even
the-
sure what that analogy was meant to be.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
fine.
I
Slow.
think just with like for us with the infrequency we're going to get of new content and new releases, we don't want to sit here and just kind of ramble on a weekly basis about Shatterpoint, but we still want to come.
We'll do it,
And-
but
Yeah, like I think we do better. We would do a better job content wise if we did. I guess what we're deciding, right? So every
Yeah.
other week of Shatterpoint content, and then something in the off week, something still gaming, hobby related, nerd related, Star Wars related,
Mhm.
something. We're also open to all suggestions and topic ideas for those, but we're going to be trying to alternate some Shatterpoint content just to not dry up the well, right? So
Yeah.
Along with
and
that,
as far as Shatterpoint content. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say along. They're gonna do off weeks too. I don't know if they've announced that yet, but sorry, Todd. But basically, the hope is to like intertwine, so that way every week is a Shatterpoint week between the two of us. That's the
I
hope.
like a lot.
Yeah.
And even with Shatterpoint, we still have plenty of content we can do, but spacing it out's good. I know I played a key operations event at Adepticon. I'm very excited to explore more of that on the show. I know they previewed some of the new legendary encounters that they'll be releasing sometime in the near future with Luke and Vader as boss fights. So there's a lot of stuff that we can explore, and we can tie that into like Monday Night Fights. There are 3 of us. We need 3 people to run a legendary encounter, and I know Diz wants a souped up mall.
And there's nothing to say we can't do multiple Shatterpoint content in a week if we have stuff, but like that's not going to be the plan. Like we don't want to try to again stretch ourselves thin.
Oh yeah, if they drop a bunch of content and we have to talk about it in an off week, we're gonna
errata's
do it.
Be like we're gonna stop everything when the errata comes out and talk about it, like everyone else is gonna do. But just you know, there's only so much going on in the Shatterpoint world right now.
So
everyone is dabbling in other games. We're gonna talk about what we're doing. That's basically the long and short of it.
So to be one line up front, we'll let you guys know, hey, this is a Shatterpoint focused episode, and this is a law focused episode, whether it be Legion, MCP, StarCraft, whatever it may be for that week. But like, we will guarantee 2 Shatterpoint episodes a month, and then the other 2 weeks will be various of different things. The 2 Shatterpoint episodes, like I said, will bounce between competitive thought, your normal type of episodes you expect from us with Shatterpoint, and then we're, like Phil said, we're going to be going deeper into like some of this more alternate formats. Battle on the Sands looks really cool. Key operations. So that's the goal, is to continue to provide content that's not just us repeating ourselves. Like I just repeated everything they both just said. So that's a good it's example.
The last time, I promise.
It's a good example of like what we don't do from now on. So with that, let's talk about Adepticon. Matt, you have good notes. You want to just like kick us off? Do we have hot takes, cold drinks?
Entire episode's recapping Adepticon.
I was saying we're not gonna do hot takes. We are still gonna do cold drinks.
Okay.
And then I'll go last because I have 2 quick. We're not gonna do what like your corner of the cantina, because the entire corner of the cantina is gonna be talking about Adepticon. I do have 2 quick notes.
I also got this.
Yeah, so I'll go first. Perfect. So my drink, this is what happens when you bring your 2.5-year-old to the beer store while you're running errands, is I let him pick out my beer from the cooler. So we were looking and I said, Caleb, pick what looks the coolest. And he's looking, and all of a sudden he gets this shit-eating grin on his face and he just points. So there's a reason that my beer is from Goliath Brewing Company. It's called King Sue because it's a bright yellow can with a big orange T-Rex on it.
I mean, that looks like
my beer. Just learned how to say dinosaur. I'd end up drinking that if that was the case.
It is actually, I mean, it's a double IPA. It's a little heavy, but it's good. It's good.
You got in the ballpark with what you like. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I pulled him to the IPA section. Like our beer store has a ton in the case, so they have like 3 cases of just IPA. So I'm like, pick from these. And like he's gonna pick some weird, like bright colored can. He did just happen to have a T-Rex on it. My quick 2 news things. First one, Nova. Our tickets are going on sale. We have to finalize everything the 10th. I think they go on sale the 12th, or that's the early preview. We've got 4 fun days planned. Check it out. I'll be posting stuff in Discord. I'm saying all this now because I won't be here next Sunday. The second thing is I have some sad Shatterpoint GT news. So there's not going to be Shatterpoint at PAX this year. This is not a me decision. This is not an AMG decision. This is a PAX decision. PAX Unplugged, has a limited amount of space, even though the convention center is big. They made a decision that they're going to cut back on. They're cutting back on a lot of their miniatures gaming space. And if you've been there, like there's a bunch of open tables for people to play that never get used. And I know their TCGs sell out everything every year, no matter what.
You cannot eat at those tables. They will yell at you.
Yeah. So they're dropping, my understanding is they're dropping every minis game except for Legion and MCP, because our Legion and MCP events both get like 40 plus people. So they're just dropping everything else minis from PAX Unplugged. It was a tough decision. They said they didn't really want to do it, but like it was I get it from a business point of view. So it was not a, hey, we're sliding, AMG did not make the call. It was PAX. So it's a bummer, but
it sounds like you'll see Matt at the Legion tables at PAX Unplugged in December.
Yeah, at a minimum, I'll be helping out Bodner, but I'll probably just play. And then, I won't be here next week because I'm going to be in Arizona playing in a GT there because I need to make a work trip out to Arizona. So I partnered it up with when Todd's running the event at Gamers Guild. So I'll be out there hanging out with those guys again.
The rest of us will have FOMO.
Yeah. So Phil, let's do you. What are you drinking?
Oh man, I made an old fashioned. I swung by the Virginia owned liquor stores because that's how it works up here apparently. I'm used to Florida being, you could get any private liquor store.
You also can't buy alcohol on Sundays.
I'll plan accordingly because
Phil just learned something about his new home state.
His eyes got real wide.
yeah, that's a problem for me because there are times where it's like today, hey, actually, now that the kiddo's in bed, I gotta go pick up some drinks.
Okay. Radio Santi says that's only ABC stores. He's not wrong. You can go get a case of beer, but like you can't get hard. You can't get hard alcohol.
This is not beer.
Phil, it's basically they're slightly more progressive laws than PA because they can buy beer at like convenience store 7-Eleven only in some areas and you do that in PA. But yeah, same thing. All of our liquor stores are state stores and you cannot buy them on Sunday. So
to Radio Santi, I will not be driving to DC. That is
who wants to drive to DC? Like
so for context, if you've not heard, I spent last week, I flew back from Adepticon Sunday night, got back at 4:50 in the morning on Monday, and was up by 9 a.m. loading a moving truck. And by Friday, we had moved into an apartment in Chesapeake, Virginia. So I'm now in the Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. If you know of a Shatterpoint scene, help a guy out because I'm struggling to find regulars, but I will be at the Richmond Open, so that's cool.
You should be close enough to Radio
I'm not running
Santi.
a GT this year. Yeah, I'm not. Radio
like
Santi,
3
where are you
hours.
at?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's in Nova, that's like 3 hours.
Yeah,
Richmond's
not
like
too far.
2.
Yeah. Good.
and
Everyone
then
only knows
kids.
Nova and Richmond regular is like, man, of all the places I could have picked in Virginia, apparently. Actually, I was not involved. My wife's job.
So I got a case of beer this weekend. That I have a sour monkey in my hand. That's what I'm drinking because I got a case of beer this weekend because I went to the Outer Banks with the wife and we went and checked out a bunch of the pirate stuff there and like Hatteras and Ocracoke and really cool. We went to Teach's Hole, and that's like something I've always wanted to do. Is like I love pirate stuff. I got a replica flintlock pistol. This thing's super sick. So
I love it.
I had a wonderful time, and I think honestly, like the biggest disappointment of the weekend is like going to Teach's Hole, and like there's this small little walkway that lets you get down to where Teach's Hole is, and it's like you have like 15 feet of beach space, and it's just surrounded by properties now. It's like, oh, well, way to ruin a historical thing that's actually really cool. It broke my heart.
You know what this historic site needs? Condominiums.
I hope like
the Florida
Blackbeard.
way.
I hope Blackbeard actually like haunts all those like condos. I hope he does.
I love that for him.
Yeah. Anyways, I got
Shows up in the dark with the tinders burning in his beard.
I have a sour monkey, but what I was gonna say is I got a case of beer this weekend, and I barely drank any of it, so I'm gonna have it for the next few weeks. I got the Sam Adams Spring Variety Pack, and I had a cold snap. I drank the cold snaps on the weekend because I think the cold snaps were my favorite from that box.
I got cold snap this weekend. My brother-in-law
That's so
always
good.
like drinks Sam seasonals exclusively. So for Easter, I'm like, that's why I went to the beer store because I didn't have anything for him. I had some other beers around for myself, but while I was there, I'm like, well, I might as well pick up a 4-pack of something for myself to try out. So
Yeah. No, 100%. But yeah, got back from Adepticon and went and did that. But now let's go back in time to the beginning of us arriving in Adepticon. Matt, you were there first.
yeah, I flew in Sunday. Weirdest flight. I obviously it's not part of Adepticon, but like weirdest flight I've ever been on. It was turbulence the whole way coming out, like, and it was rough and bumpy. They switched planes on us. We were one of those little planes that didn't have like the TV screens. And in front of me is this father and son who, when they made the announcement, they're like, it's going to be a bumpy flight. All these things, these kids are like panicking because across the aisle was this mother and daughter who, like, the son must have been like 4, 5. The daughter must have been like 7. They were like panicking. First ever flight. They didn't have a TV. They had planned to like watch shows to distract themselves. So I just like tapped the dad on the shoulder. I'm like, listen, I have kids. I have a bunch of Disney movies downloaded on my tablet. Do you guys just want it? So the two kids watched Zootopia 1 and 2 during the flight.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely. I got the dad like nod at the end. He was like, "Can I buy you a beer?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I got to give it back to my hotel." But like, I get you, man. If I was in the same dad boat, I would want the lifesaver. So yeah, I worked for 2 days and then 2.5 days, and then Kevin and Brady drove up from Chicago and grabbed me from the hotel, and then we hung out before we went to the Airbnb, which was a little bit of a shit show. Our Airbnb did not come as advertised on number of sleeping spaces.
We were down beds.
Yeah,
immediately.
it advertised 9 beds, and when we got there, and there were
Narrator,
6. There were
not 9.
Yeah, there were 5. No, sorry, it was supposed to be 8 beds and a futon. There were 5 beds, a futon, and 3
various
cots
half of cots
that none of them were full cots because they were missing pieces. So I reached out to the guy, and he's like, "I've had that property for 2 years. You're the first person to ever he's like, I didn't even realize there was like a blatant typo in the posting. You're the first person to ever say that." And I'm like, "Okay, guy." So it was rough. We wound up with somebody on a sofa, is what it is. Yeah, but I got there. I was there for a while.
Kevin liked being on the sofa, though. He seemed to be having fun with it.
Yeah. So that was Wednesday.
Until one of the nights.
Phil, you got in Wednesday, right? Like early
I got in
enough
Wednesday, not long after you guys. It was like 4:30, so I was able to
Yeah.
hook up with you at the Airbnb relatively early.
A bunch of us went to
then,
yeah. We walked to the grocery store and bought supplies.
Mike scooped me at the airport, then we all wound up at a kind of a dive bar. It was really good though.
Yeah.
They had a really good beer selection.
And then we went to bed, and magically I woke up in the morning and Diz was there Thursday morning.
I got in at like 11:30, and so did Chris.
And showed up with Taco Bell.
Yeah. No, and then so the best part about that though is Matt, Sarah Cool, and Pierre show up at the airport to pick me up. Yeah, Booker. Show up at the airport to pick me up, and I'm like walking around outside, and I see this little white car pull up, and I'm like, is that Booker? It's gotta be Booker. So I start walking towards him, and he's like looking off in a completely different direction. And I get out, he's like, "Oh, hey, it is you." And then I open the car door. I'm like, I didn't know if this is a 12-year-old driving the car, or if this was you. And it was good. And then Chris says he thought you were the guy over there that has hair at a long beard. And I'm like, I haven't had hair in like 5 years at this point. But no, it was real good. So when I get to the B&B, say hellos, and then I grab a cot. It was quite comfy. I like cots. I'm used to them. And then we talked for a while. And then Thursday morning, Matt wakes up. We hug because we haven't seen each other since Nova.
Yeah.
And then we all roll out to the good old Adepticon to the Thursday when teams.
So we're gonna try to go through coverage as like quick as possible. I don't know if Phil, you want to start with your rounds with teams?
Yeah, I mean, we can just keep it real light, right? I'll walk through kind of like what we were playing and all of that. We were there for fun. I don't have like a good bat rep for any of it, but we had some really good opponents. So I played with my buddy Jordan from Florida. We had some really good games with we ran Luke, Mando, Kanan, and Cassian. Duh. And our first match was like into Maul Grand Inquisitor, which was just like an awesome, everyone's got a double lightsaber list. Teams is fun like that, where you get to see some off-kilter stuff. So it was like Maul Savage Fifth Brother with the Grand Inquisitor box from there. It was super fun, and it kind of got us off onto a good note. We had a couple other games, came down to the final game where I played into Charles and Brennan while my buddy Passenger Princess was running out of steam, and got by Cassian Mando against Cassian Luke. The big takeaway I just want to talk about out of teams, playing 2 games with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, guys, he's really solid. Like both games that we had him on the table, like he did everything we wanted and needed from him. He just like is in the middle, just being a nuisance. Very mobile, can hit things twice. His stances are pretty solid. I have nothing to complain about with Luke after that. And we ran him with Bodhi Pathfinders, and that was pretty good with our list. So
I mean, Kenny brought him and took him in top 8. So, yeah.
yeah, I get it. I am no Kenny, but I see what he's working with here.
So yeah, Diz and I played round 1. We played a team Bert and Ernie. I loved their shirts. They dressed up like shirts you would expect Bert and Ernie to wear. We wound up playing. It was fun. We wound up playing Mall. They played Mall CAD. We played Mother PLC. So that was a lot of fun. Round 2, we played Pure and Seracrol in our game that went exactly one struggle. It was super close. It was really grindy. It was us playing our Cassian PLC into their Thrawn Mando, and we kind of knew they were going to play Thrawn Mando, and it was really close. It came down to some variance at the end. Pure did point out that had we just auto passed our second to last turn, they would have won the struggle on. We tried to make a Hail Mary play to win struggle 1. It was super low odds. Instead, he was saying like, oh, you guys should have just jumped into other points, which you already did. They would have won struggle 1. Then time would have ended on our turn as the only turn in struggle 2. We owned most of the points anyway at this point. We were up on wounds. We would have won on tiebreakers, and we're just like, nah, we just want to win struggle 1, man. It was too much fun. Like, they're fun opponents. It was a super tight game. Then we played against another team playing Maul and CAD. Again, it was really fun. We played our Mother Mando, and apparently Mother's really good into Maul CAD because we won that game as well. And then we played Zeke and Duncan, and we lost. They played.
That was a close
Cassie
game, though.
That was a super close game. That came down to there was Cassie and Dooku for them against our Cassie and Mando, and it was one of those games that like could have gone either way. It's just one of those variance games. So whatever. It felt great for me because like I haven't played real Shatterpoint in a while. So like that was the perfect flavor of just getting some rust off the gears leading into Friday.
I agree. I think the team event was very much a shake off the nerves, have fun. And like you said, take off the rust because I don't get that many in-person rounds. So being able to go 4 rounds of in-person the day before fight, like for the real game, was really nice to have and take off some rust and get some things going, especially like practicing deploying, because we played every single game I believe on strategic.
Yeah,
so it was really nice to have 4 rounds back to back of just setting up strategic to get in that motion, as well as kind of like see where the judges were going with terrain placement, which made me really happy that I brought Mandos for the GT. Or the LCQ.
Adepticon is legendary for like not nearly enough ladders. I don't know the right answer for how many ladders you should have on a table. I know Adepticon is not close.
I think some of their maps were fine, but I would say like a majority of them, as the Mando player, I felt very, very heavily advantaged on. I didn't care what table side was being picked, compared to my opponent needed to have a certain table side.
As a guy who owns a lot of terrain and runs a lot of events and thinks about terrain a lot, I have a heavy sigh every year at Adepticon. But yeah, it was good. It was definitely good testing, like getting used to stuff. It was also nice having having a more casual day one, because I know for Diz and I, like we were interrupted 2 or 3 times around from just people coming up and saying hi to us. Like our game against Chris and Josh, I was gone for probably 90% of it. Yeah, like people just constantly coming up and talking to us. Like we had a bunch of stickers we were giving out. People want to come up and like take photo. Like we were just talking nonstop, which was fine. Like and it was good to get that out of the way and like see people and catch up day one during the events where you're like, our opponents were all chill. It was a fun time. We had a great time across the day. So it was really good. And then we had teams. that night we were like, all right, do we go out as a group or do we stay in? We decided to stay in, and we did like frozen pizzas and just like snacks and crap.
Let's pump the brakes real quick. So what ends up happening is everything's starting to wrap up, and I'm like, hey, what are we doing? And then like, oh, we're gonna go back to the B&B and have frozen pizzas. And I said, I'm a social butterfly, I'm following the crowd. And I ended up being out until what, like 2:00 in the morning, I think, 3 maybe.
We lost Diz immediately.
Yeah, I messaged Diz. I mean, granted, we were drinking like Diz and I are.
We were gone. We were having a good time. At
the end of the round, I was just like, I'm tired. I want to go home and drink more. And granted, we were still up till 1 a.m. the night before the GT, like the start of the GT. But like, yeah, like we all went to bed at 1, and I messaged Diz, and I'm like, "Are you alive?" ? We're all going to bed. Good night. Because yeah, Diz
at one point told me, and I direct quote, "You guys all need to learn how to con."
we had a lot of fun.
I don't know if he remembers it, but I do.
We had a lot of fun back in the house. We played Jackbox games. We played Overcooked. We introduced some of the guys to Overcooked. It went exactly as you expect drunk people playing Overcooked to be. It was exactly how it went. Period.
It was like an episode of The Bear, but online. Like, it was great.
So
at some point I was on like beer 10 and was like, I'm just gonna be a nuisance.
So my Thursday night, I wound up at 3rd Street with, I think, Todd and Aubrey and a couple other people, and then
Aubrey had no idea who you were when you guys.
Oh my god! Yes,
hugged you and everything.
He's like, I go up to Aubrey, like, give him a hug.
Great to see you.
Who are you? And then I said, he's like, oh. But no, I was hanging out with them, and then like we're sitting at 3rd Street, and like I just randomly had this thought, I'm like, oh my god, somebody from the MCP community told me that I had to come see them Thursday night because they were hosting a community event that night. And his name's Dr. Norbert, and he did a lot of stuff with like the TTS community for MCP, and he took over Across the Bifrost from Pat Dunford and Sun Tzu. And so I had to go and see him, and it was a joy. Went and hung out with him for a while and introduced Todd to him, and had a really good time hanging out with Norbert that night and just seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in quite some time. Like, I went to the MCP people early on Thursday, and like had my glasses, my hat, and my big gray beard growing now, and or whatever you want to call it. Medium? Is this medium? Probably medium. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, medium. And I go up to somebody, and he runs the danger room now. And I go up to him, like, just staring at him. I'm like, hey. And he's just like, can I help you? I take the glasses off, and he's like, oh, and like I saw him messaging later on in the week. He's like, it was literally like a Clark Kent moment. Like, he took the glasses off, and I recognized him instantly. So, good.
I've seen the glasses thing happen enough to know that Superman, it's not the most unreal.
It's funny though. Oh, Radio Santi was with us too at 3rd Street that night, and he followed us around, and we had some good times. Let's see. So that was
Santi's X-wing flights.
Okay, so Thursday night, I asked him. I was like, "Do you have the American flag thing?" And he's like, I didn't bring the onesie. And I'm like, no. He's like, I got something. It'll be good. And so Friday morning rolls around. We all get to the con, and in walks Radio Santi with a Rebel flight suit. And there was pictures all over the place of him in this thing.
It was a onesie. There's a photo of it in our Discord. Todd shared it because Phil, you're in the background, so he shared it as Rogue support.
I'm in the background too. I'm literally like on the far top right corner walking. You can see my pink taco shirt.
In the foreground. I was to the only picture Todd's got to be, apparently.
I forget what I was talking about. I was to the right talking with people when they were making all the announcements. I didn't hear anything until my name was called, so.
Oh, good times. But so Friday comes around.
We're listening to announcements. We know the rules. It's fine.
We get announcements. We get ready for the LCQ, and I guess I don't know. Just we do round 1, round 2, round 3. Just go through it. Round robin.
Yeah, it's probably easier. So obviously, right? Like we knew going in, all 3-in-1s were guaranteed locked. A lot of the 2-in-2s were, especially if you didn't lose out if you didn't get 2-0'd. So, kind of like knowing what we're going in. So yeah, who wants to? How about let's do? We'll go in order of how people finished from lowest to highest. So Diz, you're first. You're round 1.
That stings a little bit. Thanks.
Shots fired.
I had to.
Oh my goodness. 1 damage. 1 damage. Anyways, so my first round opponent was Miniatures by Jay, I believe his name is. He recently joined the Discord.
I see
He
Johnny
just
Bennett.
joined the desk. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
joined the Discord.
He
So
played
Miniatures,
Mando PLC.
it is
He played
Miniatures by
Mando
Jay,
PLC.
right?
I have it up here. Yeah. Well, I know he's Johnny Bennett on
I'm pretty sure it's Miniatures.
Longshank. So
I'm pretty sure it's Miniatures by Jay in Discord. But he's a really cool guy. And play him. We have a great game. Like he sits down and I could just tell he's like having a rough morning. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, somebody brought up terrain questions, and I'm just here to play games. And I'm like, let's have a good game, man. Let's have. Well, no, that was. I'm thinking of a different game. That was top 64. I'm gonna get my days mixed up. Which game was this one?
round 1, day 1, he played Mando armor into your cat or your. Oh no, he played Rift Cast, right? Because you played Mando armor.
Yes. Oh, that game was really tight. I remember this one now. Okay, back up. I was on Saturday, not Friday. So Friday, because Riftcast drops Riftcast in me, and like he had like Riftcast, and 2 other ones. I think it was Vader Iden, and I was like, I can't play Maul here. I can't play Cassian here. I just have to go super tank and hope it works out. And it ultimately did. It was a really good game. He played to his outs and made it really hard to go through it. He was a really wonderful opponent. I can see his face now that I remember this game. But it was a very good game. He played very well. Riftcast is really, really cool. If you haven't played it yet, go play it, because that game was actually a fun game against a cast. So yeah, go play if you want a cast that's not like your typical Cassian. Go play Riftcast, because that was really, really cool to see and not your typical play patterns, and I really enjoyed playing that game. Wonderful opponent, great game.
So then me, as we're going in order of how people finish day 1. So I played Quincy from the Discord round 1. I peaked early. He was my favorite opponent on the weekend for the singles event. So I got to play my favorite opponent round 1. Super tight struggle 1. I really appreciate at the start of the game, he's like, hey, I'm nervous. I traveled here, to play in a big event. He's like, and I got to play you. I'm like, hey man, we're gonna have a really fun game. It's going to be fun. Like, we're here to have a good time. We played a super tight struggle 1 that could have been a coin toss. And then struggle 2, it was a really good flip for him. He won it in like 3 activations. And then struggle 3 was the total opposite. It was a really good flip for me. I don't think he could have done, like, there was one of those games where like, yep, nothing could have done. Like, the order deck was perfect for me in struggle 3. The flip was perfect. He had no choice. So it was a really good 2-1 game for me though. And yeah, like I said, my favorite singles opponent on the weekend. And I played in my 9 rounds of singles, I played 7 against people that I either have met or know via Discord. So I played a lot of people I knew on the weekend. And yeah, that was my favorite opponent and my favorite game. So, my favorite opponent, I had some really fun plays later, but yeah, that was my round 1. Yeah, Accuser, as the guy who finished best of us on the day.
Yeah, I'm still processing that one, because that's not how that normally works. I played Matt, that was I put my Boss Luminar on the table.
You played Boss Lumi against Mando Maul.
Mando.
You played Remus.
Yep. Great opponent. That was I was just like, I'm gonna get Boss Lumi out of the way. I don't know what he's gonna pick out of his list, because I think he had Mother Talzin. Dizzy would have loved it. He had like Mother Talzin and something else in his list. I was like, I'm gonna just play Boss Luminara just to get this out of the way, because I want to play Kanan Cassian the rest of the day. I was very like channeling my inner evil Houdini. And I put those out, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen Boss before. I can't wait to see this." And I kind of felt bad
Ah,
immediately, but I was like, "Oh, you haven't seen Boss yet? Okay, neat." Um, we played Never Tell Me the Odds. I top deck. I got my two home points. Then he had the diagonal, and I top deck 7 Scorch. So I had Scorch on the wide point, and then Sev was contesting his rear midline objective on elevation. He top decked Mando, clanned of 2, and took a pot shot at Sev. He got 1 down the tree, which was 1 damage, 1 shove, which means Sev kind of laughed about it. And then I got the 3 expertise where I then climbed down onto the objective just to make sure I kept that objective. So I was scoring 4 out of the gate, and it was kind of a steamroll from there. And I felt really bad because he had never seen Boss before. Then, Boss was relatively late in the deck, and when Boss showed up, he kind of cleared the field. He did his job. But it was a fun game. I have a lot of respect for 7 Scorch after that one. They do some cool stuff. And we'll talk about it later. I
yeah.
played them elsewhere over the weekend, so.
Round 2, 7 Scorch got me. Diz, you're round 2. You played round 2. You played against Phaedrus on Longshanks.
Yeah, I remember this one now. I remember this one. I actually remember this one. So I played Maul Armor, which is like
played Maul Armor, into his Hunter Cad.
Which was super cool. I do love me some Hunter Cad. It's one of my favorite places to play Hunter. But I was like, I saw an opportunity to drop Maul, which I love playing Maul. But in the current state of the game, he is still a liability in the list. And I was like, I need to find a place to drop Maul and drop him like a hot potato. That way, I don't have to worry about it and play Maul into something like Boss or something that's unpleasant. So I found an opportunity to drop Maul. I played Maul Armor, which is by far still my favorite list, and I enjoyed it that entire game. Had a wonderful opponent. It was just a very friendly game. We went back and forth. I kept running him, hey, don't forget your trigger here, and we just had a good game overall. And it's like one of those guys that like throughout the entire day, every time we'd see each other, hey, how'd you do? Really nice guy. He was super proud. I think he said his son made top 16 in a GW tournament. I forgot which one it was. It was AOS or 40K, but that was awesome. He was super excited for his kid. But it was just a great game. Another strategic game. I played strategic almost every single game on the weekend. I think there was only one game I didn't. And yeah, Maul Armor just does Maul Armor things, and I'm so glad I played it. So great time.
My round 2, I played against General Joseph. I think I'm still having nightmares about that game. He full treed his first 6 attacks of the game. It took until my 5th attack till I got any successes. 7 Scorch. The reason I say 7, when you said 7 Scorch did good things, they both full treed PLC in melee. So there's 6 dice melee attack full treed PLC. She rolled 5 natty fails, 5 natty fails on back-to-back attacks. He rolled 4 hits and an expertise both times and got 6 through. Like, it was, the dice just decided I was not winning that game. So like, I'm sitting here and Joseph and I play all the time. He's just like, I don't even know what to do. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna try to steal a struggle, right? That's all I can do. Struggle 2 flips. It was an okay flip for me. It wasn't the best one. It wasn't the worst one. I got a few of the prio rolls worked out, and I had a great play. I made a wild. I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna pull a Scott here. I'm gonna do something crazy. It just might work. And I flipped. We were playing on strategic, or we were playing on Never Tell. I got all the points, so scored 4. Got a wound with a support, so challenged the odds. Got another wound. And so I got 6 6 effects on the same turn to barely win struggle 2. Because had I not done it in one turn, I absolutely would have lost struggle 2. So I was playing my Cassian PLC into his Boss Hunter because I just didn't feel comfortable playing Boss Lumi into his Boss Hunter. If I was playing against a different person, I would have played the Boss Mirror, but I know Joseph just is so much better with the list. I just have to fall back to my comfort zone with PLC. So I stole a struggle, all I can do, but it was my ass ain't been that beat since I talked back to my dad as a kid.
How?
It was bad. So was my round 2. Phil, yours.
My round 2 is, I think, one of the tightest games of Shatterpoint I've ever played. Like, I think it was, I'm really glad, like, Todd put me on stream for round 2, so this is documented. And if there was a game that I was going to have on the stream table, I'm really glad it was that one. I played John Connor, and we played First Contact. I dropped my Cassian Kanan into his Cassian Luke. And I am really, really, really hyped. Even, like, I'm still riding the high of how the opening couple of plays went. Because it really made me feel confident in my pick for Sabine in my list. And it also just started like a train of like Ezra collecting helmets all weekend. Ezra was probably my MVP all weekend in a list that included Baze, Cassian, and Kanan. Like, Ezra rules. The opening play, I drew Ezra top deck, reserved him, and drew Sabine. The first, well, no, I drew Shatterpoint because I got the Shatterpoint effect where I could dash a model. So I dashed Ezra. Then Sabine tactic dashed Ezra a second time and hunkered him. She was able to then use that for the focus, like, slingshot basically. So she moved up, she got the focus, spent the force to jump onto the midline objective, and was able to shoot his commandos in their infiltrate deployment. And I did 7 damage to them out of the gate. He top decked commandos. Sabine took the return fire. I think she took 4 or 5 damage between the 2 commandos, but like didn't die. And then I pulled Ezra from reserve. Ezra climbs up onto the center line objective, lightsabers the commandos for 2 momentum to full tree, recovers 3 on Sabine to heal her to, I think, 1 damage on her, reposition, jump, score, and position where no one else could climb the ladder to contest it. And I was scoring the back line the first time I was scoring. It just kind of went from there where it was like commandos trading fire. When my commandos activated, I don't know if it's on audio in the stream because I didn't watch it with audio, but Aubrey at one point, like, the commandos like rolled 4 hits, 4 crits on both attacks in a single activation, and Aubrey made genocide comments like, "You got to stop with that, dude." Like, it was a really, really solid game. It was really cool to see Luke, like, with the Cassian trigger, be able to move around and pull conditions off with the bubble effect using Cassian's identity. It was another game where it's like, I'm not playing Luke, but like watching what Luke can do was super cool. But that was like I took that one 2-0, and that one is on Momentous Struggles, like, streams. So if you want to see Sabine and Ezra tag team and do some really cool stuff, that was the game where they did it.
I think something that was really cool about this was the fact that you had a First Contact game on stream that was followed very shortly by me playing a First Contact game on stream.
And it finished on time. So yeah, right before
you both of them did.
End of round 2, you two are both 2-0. I'm 1-1 at this point. So then Diz, your round 3, as you said, was on stream against Austin Adams. Cassian Armor versus Cassian Han.
So I really enjoyed this game, and I'm really glad that this one was on the stream, because I think every time I was like, go play Cassian Armor, people are like, what are you smoking? I think this game really showcases how that list works. So if you were interested in Cassian Armor, go watch that game. Go like and subscribe to Memento Struggle. Give them some love. First of all, they did a wonderful job streaming the entire weekend.
We're not saying that because Todd's in the chat right now.
Yeah, no, it's so obviously running events are tough. Organizing something like a stream is just as hard. And as someone who runs a lot of events, these things aren't easy, man. Like it takes a lot of sacrifice, time, and dedication to bring that to everyone else. So yeah, that is the truest fan service to the community.
Yep, 100%. So even if you don't like Todd's sultry tones, I don't know how you couldn't, but go give them a like and a subscribe to their channel. Show them some love. And go watch some of those games, because a lot of the games that were on the stream table were just wonderful games.
Good games on there, yeah. Like you can learn a lot about Shatterpoint from that stream.
Yeah. So I played Cassian Armor, and I had Boba. Boba did what Boba does. He did what he needed to do that game. I keep kicking myself in the ass for this, because I had one opportunity where I knew I had Baze and Shurret left in the deck. So I had Baze and Shurret or Shatterpoint, but regardless, it was Baze and Shurret. And I had one force left, and I was going with Boba, and he could have just pinned Han, like pin disarm Han. Sounds really fucking good, and I completely spaced on it. So I had an extra force into the cycle, and it would have been a great thing. Like, this is why Boba's good right now, is because pin disarm is just kind of good. Or disarm straight. I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head. Anyways, so Cass Armor is like just really good. If you need to learn how to be like good with like your force with armor, go play Cass Armor, because it'll teach you how to be good with your force and where you actually need to use your force at. And like, I played a game against Scott Nielsen for funsies, and like we were like halfway through Struggle 1. He's like, how have you only spent one force? I don't understand what's happening right here. You're a 4-force list. You have Boba in your list. You have armor in your list. How have you only spent one force? And I'm like, you just got to play the list, man. But go watch that game. It's really fun. It's a really good showcase of Cassian Mir, but like, it was a really, really fun game for being a Cassian Mir. Austin played very, very well. And big kudos to him. That game was very, very close and very back and forth throughout, and I was just able to sink it at one point and close the deal. So
my round 2, I played against him by the name of Martyr of the Cause. We had talked a little bit before, and he's a regular Shatterpoint player, doesn't go to a ton of big events. I knew I had to play my Boss Lumi at some point. It seemed like a good spot. I played Boss Lumi into his Han Hera. It didn't go well for him. Boss did boss things. I think he made a couple play mistakes. I kind of was able to bait him into chasing some wounds and then got some good setups. So that was a quick game. I was done that game in like 40 minutes and 7 activations to 2-0. Sorry, 8 activations. It was one of those things where like there was nothing I could have done differently. Like, I'd already won the game going into my 8th one. I'm like, hey man, wounds might matter. Do you mind if I'm like, I hate to say it, but do you mind if I draw a card and try to get a wound? He's like, yeah, man, do it. So I drew someone who wasn't in position to get a wound, reserved them, drew another card that couldn't get a wound. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, handshake. Yeah, it was a quick game. That was my round 3. Phil, do you?
I mean, on my round 3, I ran into Boss Hunter with my Kanan Cassian, playing into
played Hunter Sloth from Clan 2.
I played Sloth. Yeah, played Hunter, very appropriately named. That was the game where it was like, okay, cool. I'm doing everything I can to stay in this, and Boss Hunter is just so hyper efficient. Nothing I can do is keeping me in this. I think it was a 1-2 loss, so like I did at least take a struggle, and if I remember correctly, it was on strategic positions. I just kind of got like attrition to death, where it's like, okay, cool. Even with all these revenge triggers, nothing's alive to do
a
damn thing about it.
13 wound game, yeah, between 2 of you guys.
It was brutal, and the second
you had a lot of bloody games. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at I'm looking back at it. I clicked on just like Sloss to pull it up. So he played a lot of bloody games. You did not. Okay.
And I felt it because like boss and hunter together, like it's all gas. There's no breaks. It's all war crimes. Like it was brutal. I felt like I played a tight game and it was just one where it's like nothing's working. It's fine. I can afford a loss.
So end of round 3, Diz 3-0, locked for day 2. Accuser and I sitting at 2-1. Need a win guarantees it. A loss with a struggle probably guarantees it. So Diz round 4 for you. Then you played Brennan Johnson playing Boss Lumi.
Yeah, that game was something. So I go to the table and I'm like, Brennan Johnson. Why is this name so familiar?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, who are you? And he's like, Ishmael. I'm like, oh my god. And I was like, I don't want this game anymore. But wonderful opponent. He played a great game. He the entire game he just kept saying, I'm sorry. And at the end of the game, he literally, I was like, I don't know what I could have done differently this game. And he said, yeah, this was a terrible game. And that says alone what happened during that game. Boss Lumi is, in my opinion, like, I was talking to Scott Nielsen about this. I think there are two bosses, Boss Hunter or Boss Lumi, and I think it depends on playstyle on which one is better. I think they are both neck and neck, but at the end of the day, it'll come down to playstyle on what suits you more as a player. Some people Boss Lumi will fit better, and some people Boss Hunter will fit better. Personally, I think Boss Lumi is more of what fits my playstyle. And I think it's very, very good.
I like it a lot.
It's very, very good. And I think it replaced the boss Obi because of the reserve nerf that Obi hit by the rules clarification. So it wasn't really a nerf, but more of a clarification that is kind of a nerf. So
it's a nerf. We can just call it what it is. That was wrong for Obi-Wan.
So the game was really, really rough, and I felt really good going into that game, but I also felt really, really buzzed going into that game because I started drinking right at the end of round 1, and I don't stop once I start. And I'm pretty sure everybody here can attest to that. If you see me at a con, I basically always have a beer in my hand. Sometimes two.
On competitive days, I pace myself. At that point, I think I was only 2 in, only because when Joseph steamrolled me, I was like, listen. After he crushed me struggle 1, I'm like, winner buys the loser a beer, right? Like, obviously, as he was like clearly going to have crushed me. So
yeah, so it was good. It was very, very fun to play Ishmael. I'm glad I could finally meet him and play a game against him. And it was just it was a hard game. Even thinking about it now, it hurts my soul. Like, Dice didn't want to dice. My order deck didn't want to order deck. His order deck was almost spot on perfect for everything he could want. Like, Lumi being bottom of the first cycle is like, what more could you ask for with a boss? Like, cool. But not to take away from him, he played it perfectly, and he did a great job, and he earned that win. And big shout out to Ishmael for a fun game, and I'm glad I could meet him. So, next.
For me, round 4, I played someone who was, don't remember his name, Edge Hopper. I thought he was clearly going to play Cassian. I didn't feel like playing a Cassian mirror round 4. I played my boss Lumi into him. It was a 2-1 game, but like it really wasn't super close. He won struggle 2 in strategic because going into struggle 2, he only controlled 3 of the 9 points. I controlled the other 6. We just happened to flip a layout that was 3 of the points he owned, and he rolled the priority and got both. So he scored 4 on struggle 1 on turn 1. I roll priority. We roll the same 2 points for strategic. I draw Lumi, which is perfect because it's like it was the start of the new order deck, and I'm like, great. She's a dead activation here. I clearly cannot take multiple points with her. I want to conserve my force because I got dealt 2 wounds in struggle 1. So I'm like, great, I'll take Lumi, and literally moved her to a point that I know is often active for struggle 3 and hunkered her. And my opponent looked at me, he's like, you don't want to do anything? I'm like, you have this struggle, man. It's yours. I'm just setting up for the next struggle. He won the struggle on the next turn. I won struggle 3 in 2 activations. Like, I scored 5 points and then 5 points and 1 struggle 3. So happens on strategic. So yeah, it was a quick game. Phil, to you.
I don't have much to say on this particular game, and Longshanks records why. So my opponent was Robert Blasted Space. He plays both Shatterpoint and MCP. And he came up to the table and said, all right, dude, I'm going to level with you. I played MCP teams yesterday, and that event ran until 11:30 last night. I am wiped. You are going to wipe the floor with me. I know it, and I'm pretty sure you know it too. I'm happy to just take the loss. Like, whatever we need to do to enter it, like, are you okay with that? And I said, well, I'm not going to force you to play a game where you're not, like, vibing it. Like, I don't, like, and I probably could have gotten a better win record out of it, but, like, it's not why I'm there. So I accepted the concession, and then we went and wandered over the MCP area, and we heckled Chris Buffett from Fury's Finest and just heckled his game for a bit. So it was a two round, what is it, 2 struggles 3 wound, just
2 struggle 3 wounds
concession. Like, there's not much to say there. He was a super cool dude. I'm glad we hung out for a bit because, like, you know, super nice. I would have enjoyed a game with him, but I'm not going to force someone who's, like, that burnt out to play a game. Like, if he can't function, I get it.
So then end of qualifiers, we all make it. We're all 3-1. There were 28 people at 3-1. Diz, you finished 23rd on the day of the 113 people. I was 19th, and Phil coming in at 13th, taking the top cast member seat day 1. So I will say, so like recapping day 1, I mean, it kind of went where I thought. I thought I was going to 3-1. I will say the biggest joy for me day 1, besides I had a great game against Quincy, Phil, I was super psyched with how you finished. Like, you've been putting in so many reps and grinding so hard since like the last couple of events.
Mm-hmm.
I was super stoked with how you did. I was more of a cheerleader at the end of the day for you than I was like for my own games.
Well, it was
at some point.
It was like at the end when we were all looking at the rank and stack. Like we both went to Phil. And like, you have come so far, Phil. This is so cool to see. Like how far you've come in competitive Shatterpoint. Like it's just in competitive gaming in general. Like it's just amazing to see.
Diz can 100% attest to that because I used to like talk to him like, oh, these theme lists are cool. Like, have we looked at like theme and narrative? And like, no, I showed up with a really competitive list, and I feel like I played it about as well as I could. Like, I'm really proud of how I did. I think we all did pretty great. Like, that out of 113 people placing as well as we all did, like, we can hang. That's good.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about Friday night?
Friday felt pretty normal.
Not for me.
Shocker. Diz. All right, Diz, your Friday night.
So
Friday night, Matt and I hung out at the Airbnb with the guys. Diz,
with everyone
what was
else,
your-
we ordered in food. We like recapped our. So
We ordered Italian,
we'll
it
go
was
with the
great.
rest of us. We
It was good
ordered in this
pizza.
like Italian place. We just sat and like recapped our games. We talked about our plans for Saturday, which we'll talk about before we
listened to the
start coverage on
stream, right?
Saturday.
'Cause that
Yeah.
was
So
the- that was the night
we
they
listened
did
to the
yeah.
live. Yeah, we listened to the stream. Like that we did the same thing last year. We threw the Twitch Steam up on the TV. We were sitting there drinking beers. We were eating food. We were commenting, criticizing, everything like that. Diz was at the live. Diz, go ahead.
All right, so, shortly as things are wrapping up, Eric from the Knights of Ren Brothers comes up and says, "Will you chug a beer with me?" And Radio Santi shows up and he's like, "Beer?" And I'll chug beer. And I was like, "Are we shotgunning this?" Because like all they had were the tall boys, right? I'm like, I can't chug a tall boy. That's like, I'm not 20 anymore. And like not only a tall boy, but like an IPA, like Voodoo Ranger tall boy. I'm like, that's gonna be so rough to try to chug that. So Anyways, I'm like, whatever. I'm in. I'm already like 5 beers deep, and at that point, I had only eaten like a handful of nuts and 2 bananas over the entire weekend, and the Taco Bell when I first got there. So I did not have a lot of substance in my stomach besides alcohol and 2 bananas and a handful of nuts. Not for lack of it being there. It was just I prioritized other things over eating. So
I like Kylo Chris, the liquid diet. Yes.
yeah, the liquid
that
diet
was
And a
Diz.
handful of nuts.
and a handful of nuts. 2 bananas and a handful of nuts. So we
What happened to the Verbo stays in the Verbo.
oh man. Anyways, so Eric walks up and Radio Santi walk up with the beer, and like literally like the entire time too, like I'm just like Aubrey ADHD pigeon, like running around saying hi to so many different people as they're trying to corral me to take the shot. They take to chug this beer, and they finally get me like, hey, they pop the top, so we can't shotgun these things. And I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be terrible. But we do it anyways. So we sit there and we chug. We got the tall boys, and then I'm like, oh, the keynotes tonight. Let's go to the keynote. And I'm like, Todd, are you going to the keynote? He's like, I'll be there. And I go ahead and head up. And I could have sworn I was going up there with a group of people. I think it was like the sci-fi guys. But then next thing I know, I'm walking up the steps by myself, and I don't know where everybody went. So anyways, I get up the steps, and Amon comes. I went and stopped and got another beer too because I didn't have a beer in my hand, so I stopped and grabbed another beer for the keynote while I'm sitting there. And I go and I start walking the steps, and my memory, Amon comes out of the hall, and he's like, Dennis, I got a seat right for you, right up in the front. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure he like helped me out because like the cane and make it easy for me to like get in and stuff like that because I was walking rough by that time of the day. And I go in and I sit down, and I'm sitting next to Chris Buffett, and Jesse's there, and I'm looking around like the guys from the Danger Room for MCP's right around me, Sooner from Gamers Guild, all these people that I've known from MCP are all around me, and I'm like, oh, this is a great spot to be. And I see Omnis and Danny and all these guys, and I'm like, okay. And then they start the keynote, and I think you guys were watching the keynote at the Verbo, and I'm sitting there trying not to fall out of my seat watching the keynote. So yeah, Qui-Gon, you were in that similar area too, so that was cool to see you. Similar, I remember seeing you anyways. And do you guys want to talk about the Shatternote keynote real quick?
I mean, it was on the. That's why we said we're either doing it at the end or we're doing it as part of the middle. Like,
let's just do it right now. We're here. All right, so
Story time.
So Shatterpoint keynote comes on, and we start seeing, first of all, the painted sculpts, amazing. They look really cool. It's really cool to see them in the case.
Yeah.
The sequels, they look so cool. I'm really excited for them.
Just models.
Let's just rip off the Band-Aid, right? It kind of hurts a little bit because the only thing that my eyes could pay attention to was the top right corner of that screen. And I feel that was a very similar response that a lot of people had. And if you did not look in the top right corner of the screen, it said 2027. And it was like, what does this mean? And I was like, well, what are we going to do now?
Geopolitics is what it means.
Yeah.
Because it's all produced in China, and the critical component of plastic production is oil. And most of that comes from the Strait of Hormuz. You guys can read the
Wait
news
a
from
minute.
there.
I don't understand.
However, I think they're just playing it safe, right? They have to be.
You have to right
And
now.
We've seen them move stuff up before,
Yeah.
right? Like push stuff back really far and then move it up. I mean, look, end of the day, my long and short of it was they said the right words. I wanted them to show me something, a new unit that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. Like they showed us Qui-Gon during mini Strav. Like, where's
Yeah, we saw new stuff, right? We saw actual sculpts, not concept art. Ooh, ah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have seen a unit we haven't seen before, but they said all the right things, right?
Yeah.
Like
And I think
they didn't
that-
go as far as defining a specialist game, but they came right out and said the game is not dead. The game is going to keep going. Now, granted, the skeptical person's going to be like, well, yeah, corporate tells you can't say it's dead because no one's going to buy the product. And I'm like, man, these are just people like us who are gamers. I'm going to have to go as far as to trust that they at least have the right intent. Maybe corporate pulls the rug out from under them in 6 months. We don't know, right? But like, I have to trust the things I'm hearing because the people who are up there are people I've talked to before. They've given me no reason to distrust them. Therefore, I trust them.
Yep. And
You can know
as
how passionate they are about it, like they're excited
Oh,
about what
yeah.
they're doing.
and
And in the interest of fairness, MCP also didn't have anything new beyond the Alliance's board game.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
saw
not like
more about
Shatterpoint's
that,
alone,
right?
Yeah.
technically. Yeah.
so Todd brings up a good point. If you have not seen the interviews with the devs that were going out like crazy over the past week, go watch them because, like as he says, Will Schick and Plumber both said that they are under promising with that date. So
They have to right now.
yeah, like
With
it's just the
world
way it is.
You have to. You will not hit a date if you're ambitious.
And like what's being said right now is it feels different. It doesn't feel like X-Wing. It doesn't feel like Guild Ball. It doesn't feel like all these games that hurt people in the past. And it really is just going to be on us as the community to keep playing and let's keep playing.
That's why
Like
we're still here because we're
we're
feeling
not
jazzed about it after Adepticon.
Exactly.
We've got a lot to be excited about.
So
we'll keep doing it.
Let's move past that top right corner and talk about the really cool shit that was like, oh my god.
Legion got some
Veers?
really cool
No,
shit, right?
man, we
Like-
gotta pump some brakes. We gotta talk about my boy Veers and Sabe and
oh yeah,
like, oh my god, like
I think
the errata is if they're all like Sabe and Veers good.
well, and
I'm
look,
very
B1
excited.
and even the B1 we know
Zombie
separates me
B1s.
as something.
wait, pause. I remember there was an episode that we had where we were talking about B1s and how cool would it be if B1s got an ability that they like
Yeah,
they
that was
they
before
felt like
we talked about that before. That was one of our predictions in the
Yeah.
first errata. I don't know if it was you or Omnis predicted that like B1s would have a Zeb style wake back up mechanic.
it's so cool.
yeah, they went to 3 stamina basically. I think they lost a hit point, but they're 3 stamina.
Yeah.
and you pay what, a force the first time to wake them back up basically.
Yeah, because it's free.
Now
and it's
they
reactive,
feel
so they come
endless.
on.
Yeah.
I think the big thing that the one of the biggest things I heard from people is they're like, "Oh, they're not nerfing anything." I said, "Listen, they're not going to show nerfs on this stream for 2 reasons.
No.
One, because you want to stay positive, right? You want to show how the underplayed things are going to be coming back. But the other thing is nerfs. You're never going to please everyone. Someone's going to always complain that they went too far. Someone's always
Or
going to
not
complain
far
they didn't go
enough, yeah.
far enough, right? So buffs, it's like, yeah, that's cool. That makes them more playable. Like nobody can be negative about a buff.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
or it's much harder, right? So I get why they just didn't show any nerfs.
Hey, B1s are worth talking about. Like that's really cool.
But that was a
They
big
do
thing. If you were
something
watching
unique
the
at
chat,
3 squad points.
if you're watching the chat, because like we had it up on the TV with the chat on the side, like there was a ton of people bitching, like, why, what are you doing to Cassian? What are you doing to Boss? Like, just like, it's like, just why would they do
Yeah.
that? So
It's not the full
I-
errata document, guys. Like
I liked all the positive things we saw. We saw the Naboo tag, sweet. I just want to like, The
Sabe
only
does something
disappointing
really
thing about
unique
that
and
is-
Veers looks cool.
the only disappointing thing about that is, and we talked about it earlier, I wish they'd be dropping it in April so that Richmond Open and Rocky Mountain Open could have something new and hyped, because for Top Deck Games GT the end of May, people are already like, hey, what is the cutoff date for the errata to be legal? And I'm like, as long as it's 2 weeks or a week before, if it's the Friday the day of, basically it's a no. As long as it's the week before, because that's also when Morgan and Balin are due. So it's like, yeah, great. I'm on board. Have fun. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have so much fun. People are going to be just guessing the meta, and it's going to be a huge eyes on GT, because we're the first GT with Morgan and Balin.
Yeah.
And we will be, and the tough debate is, it's supposed to come out the Saturday before or the Friday before, so the 22nd. I hope there won't be delivery issues. If there are, the debate people was like, am I okay with people proxying it? And my whole thing was basically, if AMG, if some people can get it and others can't, yes, I'm okay. We'll find a way to do it. If it's something where like nobody in our area, it just never shipped to the Northeast, like no, nobody had a choice to get it. So you know, if it goes to Europe first and it's delayed in the US, I'm like, nah, sorry. If some people had a chance to get it and others don't, then yeah, you can bring it. We'll proxy it. We'll figure it out. So,
But I think that one I get pointed out is like Time to Noon, Dylan Plumber in particular showed that he's very passionate about Shatterpoint still, and 100% the whole weekend, like the whole staff is super jazzed for Shatterpoint, and like I think we gotta play the game. Let's have fun. That's what it comes down to.
well, play the game, right?
Yeah.
If there's still positive energy, there's still reasons for the VC firm that owns Asmodee to keep pushing forward.
100%.
If there's not positive energy, it's all negative. Like they read the internet. They pay marketing companies probably to read the internet for them. It's not going to help.
And then this is another thing that was brought up over the weekend is from Todd. One thing that Dr. Norbert was talking about on Across the Bifrost is that AMG is trying to reduce the lead of spoilers on new models to 2 months. If that's the case, that really explains the lack of new stuff at the reveal too. And I think this is a great thing, because how many times we're like, man, we know about this thing a year in advance. What are we going to do? So
but see, the reason you don't or announce stuff too early is the geopolitics we talked about, guys. Like tariffs. Like,
Yep.
you accuse her at the nail on the head. These are plastic models. That means they need oil. Well, guess what? Oil's an issue right now. There's tariffs. There's wars. There's shipping issues. They don't want to. It's better for them to underpromise, as we said in the chat, right? Underpromise and overdeliver than the opposite. If they say we're gonna do it 9 months out, if it's a day over that, they're gonna riot. If they say 18 months out and it comes in 9 months and a day, they're heroes.
100%.
Yeah, and let's compare, right? Like we found out about Balin and Morgan last Adepticon. We've known about them for over a year that they were coming. Compare that to Legion had a really big night on Friday and announced the Mandalorians are getting a full playable army with multiple clans, including clans you can build, like you can design your own Mandalorian clan. And that's coming in June. It is really hard to beat that kind of like, this is vertical takeoff comparatively. Like there is an imminent Mandalorian army for Legion, and that's how you build hype, like very short runway. Like that's not like, okay, we've been waiting forever. We know what Balin does. Let's theorycraft Balin's identity again.
Yeah. So I think moving on from this, unless there's something you want to, but moving on from this,
we can talk about this. We can talk.
MCP. Oh, I'm not done yet though. I'm not done. We got the best part coming up. So MCP goes, and it's pretty much a similar thing where nothing new really gets shown for MCP. Just as Todd pointed out, that they're kind of like toning back their hey, look what's coming a year from now, which is a great move. And then Legion pops up, and I'll tell you what, this kind of like surprised me, because I've been playing AMG games since AMG's been putting out games. Shatterpoint crowd, like there's like woo, MCP woo, Legion, the whole room just roars. It is amazing what AMG has done with the Legion community. It went from being dead in the water, everybody shitting on AMG for killing Legion when they were still trying to fix it, to being the loudest reception at the keynote. How many people showed up to play at Adepticon for Legion? It was like 280 or something like that. Like
Legion was huge. They had
I have
so
all
many
the
tables and everything. Yeah.
exact number because I know TOs at both Legion and MCP,
Yeah.
so I had all the numbers. What did I put that in? Which chat?
I don't remember which one it was in.
Was it Black and Tan? Was it our just cast chat? I'll look for it.
Yeah, but so like they had a bunch of people there, but like it kind of blew me away because of where Legion has come over the last year. And I think what people need to look at is AMG took a game that was like not doing the best, in all honesty. It was fine, but like I think they've completely flipped Legion on its head. And if they can do that with Legion, why are we going to lose trust in them? You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that needs to be looked at, and it's not being talked about.
Like, the work they've done with Legion is crazy, considering of the 3 games, it's their stepchild. This is not their baby. They've inherited it, but boy, have they taken it and run with it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Now the best part.
Got some cool stuff they're doing.
So the best part, they start showing Legion, and it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Wow, little speeder bikes. That's cute. Oh, look, more stormtroopers. That's cool. And then I see Paz, and I'm like, oh. And then I see Bo and an armor, and I'm like, oh. And then
a hype trailer. It was so cool.
and they show all these things, and like Chris Buffert and Jesse were a couple seats down from me, and I kept going to Jesse, and I'm like, what does that mean on that card? I don't know these words. And the entire time he's like, that's a good word. I'm like, oh, okay. But then they showed it, and you can hear if you go and watch the AMG stream off of Professional Casual Network, there was a point during the Mando stream where you hear somebody say, he just threw his billfold at you. I threw my wallet at Chick when he was talking about these Mandos, and I literally took my wallet out of my back pocket. Remind you, I'm 2 bananas, a handful of nuts, and like 18 whatever, how many ever drinks in. Take my wallet out of my back pocket, and I just throw it at the stage. It didn't land on the stage, though. It fell a little short, but you can hear in the video, like, somebody just threw their billfold at you, and Chick's like, sweet. Real funny.
What we learned is Diz never learned how to make it rain.
I mean, I'm a cripple. But anyways, it seemed like we got a good laugh out of it.
The literal "shut up and take my money."
Yeah, 100%. It I got giggles out of it, and that's what mattered to me. I went afterwards. I apologize. Like, I'm so sorry. I couldn't help myself. But they seemed to love it, so it was really good that they could see the humor in it, and I loved it. It was great. That was my keynote experience.
I have the numbers. So for Worlds, Shatterpoint had 125. MCP had 158, Legion had 182. For unique players, Shatterpoint was approximated at 186, MCP at 202, and Legion at like 281. Legion, I know, had a lot of side events. They had a lot of the skirmish games going on.
They had skirmish, but they also had the new like 2,000 point army big battle. Like,
yeah.
You want to play like all tanks, you can do that now.
But Shatterpoint got 180 something unique people on the weekend. Like,
it's a great showing.
We were like 10-15% behind MCP, not miles behind MCP, guys. Like,
yeah,
the community's there.
Yeah, it was like, honestly, I think the keynote went over perfectly well. And I think that's something, again, that is not being talked about or pointed at, is what AMG has done to Legion should be gaining people's trust, not burning it.
Exactly.
What do you think? Jumping into Saturday?
Saturday.
Let's rip that Band-Aid off.
So let's go real quick. Like, thoughts, plans, expectations, goals going into the big show, right? Worlds for Shatterpoint. Diz, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So this is the game I tried mentioning earlier. Is
No. No, this is like expectations, like
expectations.
planning
Sorry.
before pre-round one. What do you like? How are you preparing mentally for this?
I
Quick
wasn't. I
elevator
just was very
pitch.
much like I'm here for a good time, and that's like my whole goal in the weekend. Like I wanted to do good, of course, but like I was pretty happy with like the games that were played. I played Armor Mall and won with it. It went really good. Oh, there's another thing. Well, that was the next day. The next day, that's what happened. But yeah, I just went into it. It's like I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna play the best that I can, and I'm enjoying this. My first Adepticon I've been able to get to, and it was a blast, and that's all I really wanted out of it. So.
Accuser, I'm gonna go to you.
I was looking to just have fun. I didn't think like I'm not making top cut. I'm not gonna win this thing. There's no way. But I'm gonna have as much fun as I can on the way.
See, for me, I kind of sat there and thought, man, I broke all the advice I give everyone. I took lists that I was unprepared with. Going into round one. So round one, when I dropped Cassian, that's only my second time ever having Cassian on my side of the table in a 1v1 game. Round three, when I dropped Boss, was only the third time I've ever dropped Boss on my side of the table in a 1v1 game. I broke all my rules of playing what you know. So I basically said, I'm not going to have more understanding and knowledge than my opponents in the mirror. I'm going to have to fall back on that basic gaming skills. So I set at the start of every game, I said, what is my goal? I'm going to set 2 small achievable goals that I believe will carry me to a victory. That was my whole thing. So it comes up later. We'll talk about, but like, I had to fall back to just hoping that my ability as a gamer carries me over my blatant lack of knowledge on my list. So Diz, jump in. You're round one.
Oh man, I can talk about this game. Third time's
The one you thought you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So he's on the Discord. Miniature Painter J, I think it is.
Miniatures by Jay. Yeah,
Miniatures by Jay.
Discord.
He I think he streams. He mentioned he does content with painting, so go check him out. Go check him out. So he sits down and he just seemed like he's like having a rough morning, and he's like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be here. And I'm like, well, you're here, like. And he's like, well, people are asking questions about terrain, and I'm just here to play games. And I'm like, you know what, man, I'm gonna give you the best game. Let's have a good time and play games. And he sure enough, like as the game went on, he started laughing more and having fun more, and I felt so good. Like by the end of that game, like he was having a good time, even though I won the game. He was just having it. Yeah, I could tell like his mood just shifted completely, and I could tell he was having a wonderful time. And that's all I really could have asked for from that game. Was it just seemed like I was able to turn like almost dread.
Turn his front upside down.
Yeah, turn his front upside down. The funniest thing though about this game is at the end of it, like probably like 15 minutes later, in between rounds, he comes up to me. He's like, "You didn't tell me you were a podcaster." And I'm like, well, I don't like mentioning it. If somebody doesn't know, it's not something I just want to bring up. He's like, no, I feel so different now about everything. Like you could have just told me. And I'm like, no, it's good, man. It's good. But he ended up following the show, and he's a great guy. Love playing him. A wonderful opponent, wonderful game played. And I just had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we'll keep the order going. So all day I played people that like I know either in person or from Discord. So I played Qui-Gon round one. Going in, I kind of knew because I had never tell. I kind of knew he was gonna play the Padme Mace. I felt like maybe there was a world where Boss Lumi had a better matchup, but again, I had to fall back on, man, I got to go with what I know. So I played Cassian PLC. We had one of those games where super tight struggle one. It was back and forth. We were trading blows the whole time. He got Mace into some really good positions. I took a really close struggle one that I think he got out in front of me and I clawed it back, and then again, it was a really close struggle 1. Struggle 2 was a pretty good flip for him. Not perfect. He took it pretty handily. Like, I realized I was not winning it and started playing for the third struggle. Third struggle was a good flip for me. And I just took it quickly because it was third struggle and it was a good flip. It's one of those things. It's going to be the theme on some of this today is like when 2 players play really tight, good games and don't make mistakes, variance is going to decide it sometimes. I won struggle 1, variance decided struggle 2, variance decided struggle 3. So struggle 1 ultimately decided the game, and it was super close. So it was a great game. I was super happy. Good to play Qui-Gon again in person. He got the better of Scott and I in the team event last year. So this was my subtle revenge grudge match. So we're 1-1 now in person games. Well, we'll see him. I'll see him at next Adepticon for sure. So that was my round 1. Phil, to you.
Well, my round 1, I drew Brennan. So Diz lost to him at the final round of Thursday. So I got him.
So he was 1-0 against Rogue Support, guys.
Yeah, well, he made it a 2-0. That's for sure. No, we played a Kanan Cassian mirror, and he had priority. I don't remember if it was Never Tell Me the Odds or not. I think it was.
I'm in here. I'll click. It was Never Tell, yes. And he went first.
Yeah, he did. Because his opening activation, was it his Kanan? I forget what activated first, but it hit my commando on infiltrate, and I rolled 7 failures on my first defense roll of the game. And it was like, oh, gonna go like that. So he played a really solid control game of just like, I could never get things to an objective, and when I could, it was always pinned or wounded and couldn't get there. I just was on my back foot from the rip and never was able to recover. I feel like I played a really solid, like, if 1 or 2 things would have gone my way, I could have clawed out at least a struggle. I think it was some of the most like creative, like Cassian or Kanan and Ezra play that I've pulled off. I just could not seal the deal. So I lost at 0-2 opening round. He played such a phenomenal game, and I lost to him in teams as well. So I was 0-2 into him that weekend. So real rough.
So one thing we didn't cover, so it was 64 players, it was 4 rounds, cut the top 8. I will say I really didn't like this format. I wish it was because at the end of 3 rounds you have 8 undefeateds. They either should have said it was a 3-round event, cut the top 8, so we just know 3-0s make it, period, end of day. Or they should have said it was a 5-round Swiss Worlds. So I don't like how that went. So obviously you have to go either 3-0 or 2-1, and you have to have lost in the last round, and then it's on tiebreakers. So unfortunately, Phil, for you, your run is done. Diz and I
was done immediately.
Rounds. Yeah, right.
Immediately done.
You know you're playing for pride and just to play games, right? Get tickets and have a good time. So
now, in full disclosure, I didn't expect to make Saturday at all. So like, I was registered for Battle of the Sands in the morning and the Key Operations event in the afternoon. So like, I did have a fallback plan if none of it went my way. So it wasn't the end of the world if this was a bad run.
Yeah. So continuing on, round 2, Diz, you played Brendan O'Neill playing Boss Lumi.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, here we go, Boss Lumi again. This is gonna feel real good because like I practiced a lot against Boss Lumi because I was expecting it, and I felt really good into Boss Lumi. And this was just another game where it just didn't cut my way, and so that just happens. I don't really know, what did I drop in this one. I think I played armor,
cast armor.
Oh, cast armor.
Armorer.
Yeah, so probably should have gone Maul in this one, to be honest with you. Probably just Maul armor would have been better.
Yeah.
That's kind of why Maul's there. Like that's like the boss matchup that Maul wants.
And I think because Boss Lumi, you're smart enough with that to know to like single target fire. So Lumi's like heals are going to be minimized. He's not like, you're not going to spread damage out equally where Lumi's just going to be pure value every time you get a kill.
Yeah,
You're
and it's
a
like
good enough player to play around that.
And then like Cassian into Lumi is kind of like, that's why Lumi's good right now, is because she kind of doesn't care about Cassian Bomb because she's just gonna heal it all like off of the people that you're trying to take damage onto. So it's like it was really just a bad drop for me on pairing. Like I should know better. Like that's why Maul's on the list is a GR list just like that. And I should have played it into Ishmael too, and that was a mistake as well. But I was just like, I'm playing Cassian on this list is fun. But the game didn't go too well for me. I'm pretty sure I still pulled out a struggle in that game. So I was like, at this point, I was still in the running as long as my strength of schedule was fine. Yeah. So I was still hopeful. And very good game. It was very, very close from what I recall. And he played it well. I just made I strongly think that I just made the wrong thing. In the moment with the list that I had, it came down to I needed to do one more damage to 7 Scorch, and that would have sealed the deal for me to close the game out. And where I messed this up is I split the coverts to do one melee, one ranged, when I should have just done both ranged. It just always do ranged with coverts. It'll bite you. Foreshadowing. It happened again. So I missed it by 1 damage, and I walked through like, this is how I win if I do this 1 extra damage. And he's like, oh, and no, that's on me. So I threw that game away and said, well, move on. We've got 2 more to win, so let's do this. And we went on to the next round for me. But Matt or Accuser, or you?
So yeah, we're gonna keep the same order. So round 2, I played Scrambler from the Discord and stuff. So this was one. So you had to re-escape your destiny. Don't get me started on how. So we're gonna take a second. So players who played in the Last Chance qualifier on Friday had to keep the same list going to Saturday. Players who had buys into Saturday didn't have to submit their list until Saturday morning. So they got to see everyone else's list. So the people who won GTs. So when the question was asked to the TO, he said, well, yeah, that's an advantage they get because they won GTs. So then my thing was, okay, great. So you're saying it's the same event. We have to play the same list from Friday to Saturday. Why do we have to re-escape our destinies? He's like, well, it's a new event. But then why do I have to keep the same list? Because it's the same event.
And then we came up with a smart ass.
Radio you can't see my face, but
we came up with a smart ass thing that we should have gone and just told them that. Well, that means that the GT winners should just have to take their GT list to the top 64 then.
Right. So there's no point, right? It's not our event, it's theirs. So I play Scrambler, and the reason, so I'm like, I gotta play something. I know he's gonna play Cassian. He plays Cassian Jin. I don't want to play the Cassian Mirror because, again, I know Scrambler's a good player. I'm like, I got to take my Boss Lumi at some point. I don't want to play the Mirror. Let's do it now. This game was such a prime example of co-opetitive gaming. The center of our table, we played on Never Tell. The center of our table was 2 high grounds butted up against each other. And it created a very narrow tunnel that I had to run Boss, Fixer, 7 Scorch through, and there were so many measurements of, hey, you on your side hold this, and I'll hold this, and we'll do this. We seamlessly played 3 struggles in time, no issues, working together. He got K2 in such a good position in struggle 1 that anything I did in a wound, he just repositions K2 and stops everything I was doing. It was really tough. I grind struggle 1 out. He was so close to winning it on 2 straight activations. It was close. It was an incredible struggle 1, and then it went exactly like you expect. Struggle 2 was a really good flip for him. He won it really quick. Struggle 3 was a really good flip for me. I won it really quick. Again, struggle 1 decided the game, and variance decided the rest, but super close game. Again, super fun. So yeah, wound up 2-0, got both my lists out of the way. So it just was free sailing from there. And Accuser, you're round 2.
Well, I dropped Kanan Cassian into boss and Obi-Wan. Um, and he chose first contact from my deck, which was definitely a surprise. People don't typically do that. Um, it was a really solid game for most of it. I had the first struggle, I think, pretty handily. Second struggle, he tied up the middle of the board and just I couldn't dislodge enough. So, um, yeah. So came down to Fixer moving on to an objective once time was called to take the third struggle needed to have the most objectives controlled at the end of the struggle. So I lost it 2-1 and I dropped because that, it was
Yeah,
a
at that
real
point,
rough
go
start
do
for
some.
me. Like at that
Yeah,
point, I'll go do something else. Like
I
Worlds is not for me. Like
I don't think anyone
it,
likes Shatterpoint tiebreakers, and then it doesn't help that at Adepticon, because they like to keep their schedule really tight, when they post pairings, they start the clock. So that means getting to your table, discussing terrain, setting everything up, doing missions is all on the clock. Not a single game
yeah.
of Shatterpoint gets 2 hours. They all get an hour and 45 minutes max. So right,
And
like
like
if
it's
you
one of my
guys had
Yep.
2 full hours, you would have finished the game.
If I had one more like flip, I would have had it, right? If I had one more turn. And I think it's my big rub with tiebreakers in Shatterpoint because he was first player. He went first, which meant he got the last activation, which means by definition he got one more turn than I did. So I didn't have as many opportunities to
Yeah.
close
I
out the
think it
game.
was
And
even
for a game where I felt like I was in the driver's seat for most of it, I it's a sad way to finish. Like I
and
just did not. Yeah.
I feel like there was an interview early on in the game of Shatterpoint. I think it was Hello There did it, and they asked about the like end of turn or end of game mechanic, and basically they were like, it was the best of a
Yeah.
bunch of bad options. No, there's no
There's no
good way
good
to end
way.
a game,
Yeah.
right? Like, so yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, but like I get that's one moment you're like, hey man, I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the con. I'm gonna like get some like time to
I,
walk
I went and got
around.
some food, had a beer, and had some time before
Well, like
the
you said,
operations event I was registered for.
you
So
already were just trying to make day 2. You made day 2. You played 2 good games. Just
yeah,
hey
I played
man,
the best I could, and that's where it landed. Bad order deck and bad luck on the clock is how we'll call that. Like
yeah.
it's what it is. So I went and did something else and still had fun, and we can talk about it after you guys talk about your round 3.
So Diz, you're sitting 1-1. I'm 2-0. Your next game is against Dan Red Wolf.
I saw this and I was like, no, I don't want to play this game either. So get paired up and we're sitting there, and just like Matt said for his last round, this was a very, very, very cooperative game. Like we were 100% like, no, don't do that because I'm gonna do this if you do that, and you're gonna get screwed. And the same thing, he'd do the same thing for me, and we're like both measuring for each other and helping each other out 100%. Like it was probably, as far as positioning goes, just like the best opportunity. We were both helping each other make the most opportunistic plays. Struggle 1 was a slam dunk, just over fast. Order deck didn't do Dan any favors. It was very much sided on me. It was just like going so good, and I was like, wow, this feels good. And Dan's over there like, if this flips and it's this one, I'm just gonna concede because I can't do anything if it flips to this one. And we have a pure flip the card for us, and of course it wasn't the one that like was like the auto loss, because I had set up to where like I basically like had the diagonal and the corners, except for like one corner. So I was very, very well positioned for struggle 2, and it happened to flip into the one that like I was like okay positioned on, but he was able to at least make something work out of it. But like no, let's play the game. Let's keep going. And we kept helping each other out, like making the best plays, and then somewhere towards the end of struggle 2, like it was very much still one-sided. His order deck wasn't helping him out, dice weren't helping him out. I was just pushing it, and I was about to take it, and then it just out of nowhere the dice flipped and the RNG flipped and everything flipped, and even like this comes back to again, like even if you are both making perfect plays, because we were helping each other make perfect plays, variance will win at the end of the day. And the dice flipped and he started pulling. He pulled struggle 2 out. And then struggle 3 is going, and it's very, very much okay, cool. I'm pulling it. And then he was able to pull it back. And then I did the same mistake I did in game 2, where I had 1 covert Mando punch and 1 covert Mando shoot, and I missed 1 damage. And that 1 damage would have closed the game. It's just the dice are just so much, but the expertise is what gets you there, to be completely clear, because their expertise on range is just too freaking good to say, I'm going to punch you, because 1 turns to 2 and 2 turns to 3. For their range on melee, 1 to 2 turns to 1, 3 turns to 2. So it's just completely just not nearly as good. And that extra 1 would have made a huge difference and closed the game. But Dan ended up winning. He played a great game. I loved that game. It's probably my favorite game on the weekend, because just how cool it was to be like let's help each other out. Let's like make the best plays for each other. And we were both playing both sides of the table, and it was just a really fun game to have that experience with. And I'm glad I get to like play Dan in person, and just having a really, really, really just wonderful time. And then he bought me a beer, and he spoiler, he made it to top 8, so really happy for him. He got knocked out in round 1 of top 8, but like he did make it to top 8, and that was just awesome to see. So
so my round 3, I played Cerecral. Josh, we played on stream. So this is a prime example of going in. I knew what he had to play. He wasn't going to play his Thrawn Maul into me. He was going to play the Vader Iden. I know Josh knows his list so much better than me, because he just has been, and granted, he has not got a lot of games in recently either, right? He has 2 kids. He's traveling a ton. He's also in that boat of not getting enough games, but he still just knows Empire like the back of his hand. I went in, I said, I'm going to set 2 small goals. I said, I played a lot with Stormtrooper Sergeant and with Vader. I know Stormtrooper Sergeant is often a dead activation, and I know Vader can be a dead activation. I said, I'm going to try to give myself a slight edge, and I'm going to try to make 2 bad activations in his deck. So I'm going to play with the purpose of making Stormtrooper Sergeant bad and Vader bad. I did exactly that. I deployed, I moved, I did everything with the mindfulness of the range of those 2 models. The order deck helped me early. I got a really good activation with Ezra and Struggle 1 to jump up, take a point that just like, it's not that it won me Struggle 1. It allowed me to kind of breathe. You know, you get that moment in a struggle where you're like, all right, I have 3 points with some reasonable confidence. I don't have to, my opponent now is the one who has to stress about his activation, not me. I got into that position early with a good card draw. I was able to grind out Struggle 1. And then the Struggle 2 flip was as bad as it could have been for him. He made the wrong play, because both of us, as we were talking it out, because, you know, we know each other, right? Like, we talk out all of our plays. As we were talking out his Shatterpoint play with his Dark Troopers in Struggle 2, we both forgot that my Rebel commanders were still alive, because they had a it wasn't that they had a crazy good defense roll. Iden whiffed, and Rebel commandos lived on 7 health with 2 conditions. So we both forgot they were alive. He made his entire play based on them being dead. They weren't. He didn't get 3 points on to start the struggle. And then I finished it pretty quick in Struggle 2. I don't think it would have changed anything, but it was just one of those things where like both of us missed it as we were talking it out. So it was not a great game on stream. Like, not that anyone did anything wrong, but it was the variance decided it was going to be my game. As simple as that. So it's a bummer to play. Like, I was hoping Josh was going to take a struggle. That's what stinks as well, because like an 0-2 loss probably almost certainly ends his chance at top cut. So
pending like any drops or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah, it would take a lot of weird. It
Mhm.
certainly gets it to a single-digit % chance at best. So,
Yeah, 100%.
so yeah. So then, round 4, Diz, what do you got?
I got Hunter, Griff,
Hunter. Yep.
Hunter, one of the two. Sloth. I played Nova a couple of years ago. I'm bad with names. I'm good with faces. So, I'm comparing to him, and he's kind of checked out at this point, and he's just like, let's just play a game. Like we played 2 years ago. That was a close game. Let's just have a good game, and we did. It was very much. He just kept trying to kill all my stuff, and I was playing Cassian armor, and I said, I'm just going to outposition and keep holding points because I have Boba and Cassian. And you have boss, so I was just able to, every time he'd kill something, I would just take the point back with a Cassian or a Boba jump, and just played the positioning game. I think I had like a very low wound count that game, and ended up going 2-0 with it. But he was like murdering me. Like these were just coming like dying left and right. But it's like what do you expect? It's boss.
You did
Boss
5.
Hunter.
I mean, he did 7, but you did 5.
Yeah, I guess 5's not bad. But it was just very much like a positioning game for me. And when you're playing Cassian armor, it just comes like you need to score fast, especially in the boss. You need the game to just get over with before he kills you. And he just needs to keep killing you and keep killing you. But I was just able to have positioning because of the tools I had access to. He was a little upset at the game, and I don't blame him. I think he just. But we had a fun game. I think we both enjoyed playing each other again, and I was glad to see him again. So, yeah.
So my round 4, I play Scott.
Yay!
And my wife made the comment. She said, the only way you guys could have scripted this better if you guys met in the finals, right? So Scott has been my local guy. But right when the game came out, we met at a store, finding each other on Facebook to go play a game. He was he's there at every event. He just moved out of the area. Haven't seen him in a couple months. We play to make Top Cut. So man, right out of the gate, I'm like, crap. I've been knocked out of 4 GTs in my life, 3 times by Scott, once by Kenny from Sci-Fi. Lifetime, Scott and I are 50-50. He just beats me when it matters every time. So I know I have to play Cassian PLC into him because I just know I have to play the list I know better. I made my biggest mistake on the weekend. And the worst is I talked it out and then still screwed it up. So Scott made 2 brilliant back-to-back plays. One, he always finds a way. I tell Scott every time I play him, I learn more about the maximum level of what you can do in a Shatterpoint turn. Because Scott finds a way to find this ridiculous line to punish you for something you didn't realize you did. And I learn every time, and every time Scott finds a slightly new way to punish me. Makes 2 great plays. Really gets me on my back point. He won table edge, which was really big in this game because I had to defend a one of the maintenance bays where the only way to get directly up to the point on level was from the ladder. So it's really easy to block the ladder, right? So that was really tough. So I had a PLC term where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the repo. I'm going to come around here. I'm going to use this when you're still alive. I'm going to dash into this point. I'm going to tie break you on this point. And then you're going to be a tough spot, Scott. I think I win on the following turn. He's like, yep. We roll the dice. We put the turn. I forgot his rebel commandos were still alive because I couldn't see them under the gantry that had boxes on top of it. And I, in my movement, effed up my objective math and was like, oh, I'll set PLC up for this. And he's kind of looking at me and I go, yep, there you go. I'll score 3. And he goes, you'll score 2. And I look and go, fuck. And he looks at me and I'm like, yeah, fuck. Like, I said it and I didn't do it. Cool. Score 2. I would have won on the next turn. We both kind of agreed. We grind that out for a while. We got into mission critical on struggle 1. He flipped struggle 2. It was he was on all 3 points to start. He won struggle 2 and 2 activations. We flipped struggle 3. I won struggle 3 and 3 activations because I started with all 3 points. Like, welcome to Shatterpoint at a high level. Struggle 1 decides so many games. So the good thing is, so the funny part was at the end of the game, there's like 3 rounds left that haven't reported. Booker's opponent and Scott's opponent were playing each other. The winner of that game, so if Booker's opponent wins, Booker makes top 8. If Scott's opponent wins, Scott makes top 8. Then Red Wolf's opponent, who was playing, lost, which knocked Red Wolf out of top 8. So we're like, oh, okay, top 8's locked. Red Wolf comes in 9th. Then we're not realizing there's still 1 game left. That last game finishes. Scott falls to 9th. Dan jumps into 8th. Just it's so crazy. Like, everyone thinking who was going to make it at the end. It was so cool that random people playing were deciding top 8 between the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. It was pretty crazy. So yeah, that was Saturday.
That was, and then the best part of the weekend happened.
The explore the ruins key operation, because that was pretty cool. And it
happened that day. That happened that day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, same day.
You did that Saturday?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And just real quick, if you haven't played Explore the Ruins, that one's fun. You're like playing an Indiana Jones adventure where one player's trying to solve a cipher and match like dice symbols to objectives on the map that you control. It was one of my favorite Ezra games because Ezra one-shot clone commandos, and that was pretty neat to collect some helmets. But there is a card in the Explore the Ruins set that still has placeholder text, I assume from like development or testing or something, where it's like, if you do this, you get QQ. If not, you get H. And it's like, I don't know what this means. Do you know what this means? I can't call a judge on this. They're not going to know what this means. I walked over to the desk and like asked Michael Plummer and Will Schick, like, hey guys, you look like you might know how this works. What's this meant to do? So that's one of my favorite moments of the weekend, was just going and asking Plummer, like, hey, how's this meant to work? And so they're meant to be fixing that. So if you have a card, that's going to get fixed eventually, because I played a key operation and asked the right people.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. I won that as the Sentinel. Ezra's big momentum swing helped run the clock out. As the Sentinel player, you're trying to keep the aggressor in check and force them to time on the momentum tracker. So that's what they came down to. It was a super fun thing, and you should play more key operations if you want to play something different.
Yeah. And then Saturday night was community hangout.
The fun times.
It was just, at the end of the day,
it was a
just
blast.
Great seeing a bunch of people. Just had a good time. Had a few too many beers.
It was like we packed that corner of 3rd Street. Like, it was so packed. I will say one of the coolest things of that night was Quincy and his brother rolling in with a freaking Bushido blade, and he's like, we have a sword. And I'm like, what? And he's like, we have a sword. He won Bushido and the prize was a sword. He's like, I don't know how we're gonna get this back to the UK.
No, it's easy. Check it in your luggage. It's fine. See, I'm gonna double that down. So Spitfire brought with him a camera, but unlike a normal camera, he brought it prints mini Polaroid. So
yeah.
He took a picture. He was like, "Oh, we doing a photo?" I'm like, "Oh, we gotta get the whole cast." So I mean, I have mine right here at my desk, so you guys can't see it at home. But like, we have this mini Polaroid of all of us doing our toast from the logo. So in front of the word bar,
specifically for the logo, yeah,
and under the word bar, of course, because on brand. So like, I have, you go to the events, people like give out stuff. I give out stuff when I go. So I have underneath my one monitor just a little my wall of all my stuff I've been giving out. So yeah, the Polaroid has joined that wall. So yeah, it was something fun.
The
I will
Polaroid
say
is such a
like
cool thing.
honestly, out of all of I love Josh. I don't want to hurt his feelings because the drawings are amazing, but like that Polaroid honestly means so much to me as far as like where we've come and like what we've built together, and it's like one of the coolest things that has like I have in my collection now, and it's really cool to get
Polaroid
something like
rules.
that. Yeah.
Well, and like you said, right? Like Spitfire was saying, is like, yeah, you know, people take photos on their phones, but no one ever prints them out. And like, you don't really look at them post after like you post them. So yeah, it's something I'm looking for 3D print files to like print a little picture frame. So if I can find some, I'll send them to you guys. But
Oh,
yeah,
that would rule. Yeah.
I want to get a little picture frame for it. So
The other thing we did was our second annual beer chugging contest.
oh,
and
I was
back-to-back
so
undefeated.
close. I was way closer. Last year you beat me by a solid gulp. This year it was frankly we finished probably neck and neck. You just
From what
you definitely had the beer down
what-
faster. Which
From
was
what
the rule.
I remember, the three of us were like the first three done.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. You can tell the people who drink regularly on their podcast and who don't.
It's our corner of the cantina.
Yeah, no, that was obviously again. It was just great seeing people.
Yeah.
Probably had it was so, and then we went back to the Airbnb, and I continued to drink.
Oh, we were so
Made
so
some
sick.
mistakes. It was like one when we went to bed.
I told
like,
Kevin I was gonna
Happy-
jump on him.
Happy little accident. Oh, Matt came in and he tickled Kevin's feet. Kevin's like sitting there trying to go to sleep, and Matt comes in and
Kevin's trying to
starts
go to
tickling his feet.
that's what happens when you sleep on the sofa in the common space, man. You just yeah.
It was a fun night, though. It was really good to see everybody, and I'm glad we could get that going. And next year, if you go to Adepticon, you can catch us at 3rd Street doing the momentously rogue hangout.
Oh, that's good. We got to keep that name.
And then Sunday, yeah. So I had a Top Cut game. I had to play against Booker. Honestly, I was, and I told Matt this out of the gate. I'm like, I'm a little hungover. Not bad enough that I think I'm going to make any mistakes because I'm hungover. I'm like, it's just going to take me a couple extra seconds to process my decisions. Now, Booker and I play a ton of games together. We're both fast players. We both talk out our plays. It's no issue, right? I even joked with going in. I'm like, I hope you win because I had Battle of the Sands at noon if I made it. And I told him, I'm like, hey, if you beat me, or if I beat you, here's my Battle of the Sands ticket. Go play it.
2 Matt center, 1 Matt leaves.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm like, look, if you told me obviously I want to win the whole thing, right? I want to win Worlds. There's no question about that. If you told me I had to lose, round 1 would be the round I'd want to lose in for 2 reasons. One, because I'm playing against my friend. That means my friend has advanced at least a little bit further. And also it means I get to play Battle of the Sands. Runner up would be losing in the finals. It means I made it there. For losing in the second round was like, I just told him I don't do that. So Booker beats me. Struggle 1 was super close. So we played shifting. It was the point to my right, his left, which was tucked into a high ground. And I'm like, we were even talking about it. I said, like, oh, I think this objective layout favors me, Struggle 1, as long as you don't get Ezra. Because I'm like, oh, if he gets Ezra, he just moves over, jumps up, and hunkers and tucks Ezra into the corner, hunkered on the objective. I'm not getting that back from him. He flips Ezra. Okay, great. I'm trying to grind. Bad variance. I lose Struggle 1. Struggle 2, I win pretty quickly. Struggle 3, I jump out in front. Matt has some really good plays, claws it back a little. Refresh the order deck. We're going through. I got 6 cards left, and I go, and Matt's like, I think you have this game. I go, I think I do, as long as I don't draw Ezra or Sabine. 6 cards in my order deck. Draw Ezra, or draw Sabine, reserve. Okay, draw Ezra. Okay, I gotta go with it. I would have even rather it in the opposite direction, because Struggle 1, when I knew I was losing, when I realized Booker had it, all I did was spread conditions. Outside of his Cassian, every single unit had at least 4 damage and at least 1 condition going into struggle 2. I killed Rebel Commando super early when it didn't matter. Like when he had no revenge window. Struggle 2, I killed Rebel Commandos again, so they were not coming back. So struggle 3, I felt like I was in a good spot. I just had some really bad variants. Booker played a super tight game. Variants decided it. We knew going in that mission was gonna order deck ultimately was gonna decide the game, right? I called it. I said we were talking about it at breakfast the night before. I'm like, yeah, order deck's gonna decide the game between Booker and I, and it did. So I'm glad he won. I got to go play got to play Battle of Sands. Yeah, I felt great about my run. So with
Yeah,
the amount of test time,
you made cut. One of us did.
I think at the end of the day, though, like I think that's a question to go around the horn with. Is I felt good about my runs. I really enjoyed myself, and for me, that's what I wanted. Like I got to go play Armor Maul. I got to go. Oh, that was a thing on top 64. Maul was the only primary to have 100% win rate,
there you go.
and that was really cool
There
to
it
see.
is.
Sure, it was only like a couple times played, but he was the only primary to have 100% win rate.
100%.
So 100% is 100%. But I'm really happy with the list. I think if I were to change anything, it would actually just be play Paz. Because there's a lot of opportunities during those games where I was like, Paz would be so good right now. It's just my issue, and people know how I feel about this. Paz can be such a liability that he's scary to take to a competitive event. But he's also that model that can just win you the game because of what he's doing to the table. And he can. And I really enjoy playing him. I probably should have just played him just to have fun with him and like try to take him competitively. I was too scared. I was too scared to play him. Accuser, how did you feel about your list and your run overall?
I mean, I feel like I did really well in the qualifiers. I'm really happy with how I did there. I enjoyed the key operations that I did get to play, and then I played Adversaries to Allies on Sunday, and I won that 3-0. So, you know, that was cool too. I mean, my Worlds run overall was a little disappointing, but like I had a fallback plan to make sure I still had fun. So I've gone to events before where I didn't have a backup plan and ground out into like an 0-4 and felt real bad at the end of it. So I'm glad I had a backup plan for when the worlds just kind of went south for me. But I don't regret what I took. I will happily run that list again with. I loved having Sabine. Sabine just felt like she delivered, and Ezra had a fantastic weekend. I would happily put the two of them into a list again.
I loved
The
playing
Republic
Sabine.
one, the one big surprise that I did have, units that I enjoyed more than I thought, playing Adversaries to Allies. I brought the Pons Sev Scorch package, and I tell you what, that's a really good time. You can do
I had
some
to play
really
against
interesting
it with Qui-Gon.
deployments. There's some really interesting deployments that you can do with pawns, and then the way they can spread out off of pawns that lets them interact with some interesting objective shapes on Never Tell and First Contact that totally came up in Adversaries to Allies. I'm so glad I got to like explore that a little bit because that was like something I was looking at for another list, and I'd happily look at it again.
It was solid. And then real quick,
And our first game, for what it's worth, I played into Darth Poo's Ray, and we both had that Pons Sev Scorch package, and our pawns like full treed into each other. Like they also just pawns just went off. It was like, okay, this little 3-point dude can hang. He's worth it.
yeah, they did a good job buffing him. I did
I'm really
the Battle
happy
of
with
Sands thing. Just recommend when it comes out, try it. It's a cool multiplayer format. There's a couple good interviews and conversations about it, and I think Momentous Struggle did a good breakdown that Aubrey talked about. But basically, it's every man for himself. You're hunting the person to your right, therefore the person to your left is hunting you. You need 2 momentum trackers because each of you use half a tracker. There are 5 objectives, 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle. and it's just a free for all. It's you have to first person to fill the tracker twice or complete the tracker twice wins the game. It's exactly like you would think it would be. It's a lot of backstabbing, negotiating, just having a great time. It was a ton of fun. It even helped that like I knew 3 of the people. So it was me, Brady, Mountain Mike, and Radio Santi, and we were just like, hey, there's 4 of us. Can we just be a pod? And they're like, yeah, have at it. So we had a blast. Ton of fun. A lot of, again, name calling, backstabbing. They actually came up at the end. They're like, they were waiting for us to finish. We were the last game left. And we're like, oh, are we taking a while? And they're like, well, normal games take about 90 minutes of people learning, like maybe 2 hours. That includes me talking. We're like, oh, how long's it been for us? And we're like, almost 3. And I'm like, this is what happens when you let 4 people who know each other just have fun in a multiplayer game. We're just bullshitting more than we're playing at this point. They just kind of laughed and they're like, we figured we weren't going to rush you. So, yeah, it was a ton of fun.
It's the one thing I am disappointed about. I didn't get to try it.
Well, we're hoping to do it at Nova.
Well, while you guys were playing games, I played a game against Scott Nielsen that day, which was fun. It was nice to play him. And then I went and got my Adepticon exclusive Mephisto, which is super
it's such
cool.
A cool model.
It is. It's so cool.
I can't wait to build it. I unpacked it today. I cannot wait to build it.
I was asking some of our MCP players who I know who play Shatterpoint. I was in the Discord. I'm like, does anybody want this? I'm like, I can go buy it. Like, does somebody need it? And I got crickets. So I'm like, okay, great. Sunday night after after the con, 4 people were like, oh, absolutely, I'd take one. I'm like, dude,
it's over.
That's not how that works.
Like, I started Saturday morning asking people. Sorry.
Speaking of the con exclusives though, because I was really happy with like the prize support this year with the hard plastic. I mean, I was a big fan of like the Leia box last year, getting that like special card treatment. But these are like giant credit cards. They're fantastic.
They feel so good.
They're great.
No, I love the range tools that are coming that we'll have for the GT. Like the classic trilogy art is just
Oh yeah, those range tools are fantastic.
New dice, God, I love it.
I love that new dice feeling.
Expecting red dice for attack dice because they're in the store kit. So, ooh, those red dice I have are extra rare. Then,
yes, yeah, and the yellow defense dice roll nicely. Like that is.
I like the color combo, the yellow and black and black and white.
Like it's got good contrast. That's what you want in dice.
To wrap up,
what was cool though was that we did get the confirmation on squad points.
Yes,
for Bailing,
and Era. So
and Morgan. Morgan's on there too.
Morgan, there's only 2.
Yeah. Only 2 force, which is kind of wild.
And 8 squad points.
Yeah, and then Balin 7 squad points, 3 force. And I can't wait to try them all with my hard cards. And Morgan also got the shiny treatment. So,
and then to cover up the rest of Adepticon real quick, I'm sure most of you already know. Booger ended up getting taken down by Matt, so the Matt beat the Matt beat the Matt.
3 Matts in the top 8. They put all 3 of us in one side of the bracket because they know they had to nerf Matts and make us all beat each other. So,
and then Bronson also beat Kenny. Then Dean beat Duncan, and then it was Matt versus Dean.
It was Matt versus Dean, and in the real plot twist of the weekend, the top table came down to, what was the winning rebel list there? It didn't have Kanan this year.
Wasn't it Duncan?
No, it was Dean.
It was Dean. It was
Dean. It was Dean because.
Oh, it was Dean. I'm sorry. Oh, it was Plo Koon was list. Yeah.
I don't remember what the
we
rebel
saw
list was,
our semifinals had Dooku on the table.
Oh yeah, Dean Duncan had to play semifinals, and that was loud and hilarious.
We were in the middle of Battle of the Sands, so Plo Koon on the final table. Who had that one on the bingo card, right? So
Yeah.
Definitely not, but I'm inspired. I'm really
And
happy to see it.
Bronson ended up taking it home, which is a big congrats to him. He did a great job and had a good run, and he played a great game. And that's on stream for everybody to go watch. Again, go check out Momentous Struggles YouTube channel to go check out any streams from the Adepticon weekend. Check out all these games that we've talked about that were streamed. Go ahead and I hate to say it, but give them that like, give them the subscribe because it helps. And just to support your guys. Like, they did a great job, and it really is thankless. They love doing it, but man, like that. I don't envy them because I'd rather be playing. But good job, guys. Again, Moment to Struggle for streaming the whole weekend between Todd, Aubrey, Austin, and God, he's gonna kill me. God, what is his name? Yeah, Jake. See, I knew it. Thanks, Todd. Don't tell him about this. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you for streaming the whole weekend. And like, honestly,
It was excellent.
like,
They did such good work.
you guys did such a good job. Big round of applause. So now I'll stop gushing over Todd's sultry tones. And after Sunday, everything got picked up. We went back to the B&B. We ordered Mexican food, and oh my God, it was delicious. Like, it was so good. I had a big burrito, and I showed
long
That sounds so much
breakdown
better
of
than
this
the
food.
airport Chili's I eat.
Yeah.
sorry.
Let's just leave it, what, like 6 you're supposed to fly out at?
My flight was meant to be at 6:50, but some idiot broke the plane, so we had to wait for another plane, which meant I didn't leave until midnight, which went full circle when I got into Tampa 3:45 in the morning, having slept upright on the plane, and then walked in my front door 4:50 in the morning, face planted in the couch, and then woke up like 2 hours later to load a truck.
yes.
I think for the
It
rest
was
of
a
us,
long week.
the rest of us Sunday, we're all like, yeah, we should all go to bed at like 11. And then no one wanted to stop just sitting and talking. And next thing we knew, it was like 1:30, and we're like, oh shit. I'm like seeing myself like, I gotta be on a flight in like 8 hours. I should probably like lay down. So yeah, it was great. Just exactly what we wanted on Sunday night. Just hanging out, having a couple drinks, recapping our weekend, talking about like already pre-planning for the next year and the next event, right? Like, that's always what it is. So
The worst part about the flight being delayed, they started closing the bars at 8 o'clock. So I had to sit there dry, like, waiting for that.
We offered, we're like, oh, should we come back and get you? And right, they were like, we don't know if you're gonna be able to get back.
They're like,
security.
we don't know if you'll be able to get back in because like security
Once you've already checked in,
home.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
you're
like,
checked in and you're here. Like, you can't leave and come back because like they might not be able to get you back in. Like,
yeah, so
well,
like,
my
I
wife
guess
would
you
kill
guys
me
are
if I
stuck
can't
there.
get back into the So just sitting there, like, I slept for a little bit, but I also watched The Pit. Like, okay, I'll get caught up on TV, I guess. That accounts for 1 hour of that delay.
So I have to ask, was Adepticon a success for you, Accuser?
Yeah, 100%.
Matt.
I don't regret a thing.
Matt.
Yeah, I met or exceeded every single one of my expectations. My goals were to have fun with my friends, first and foremost, play good games and not play crappy, and like have good opponents. I had great opponents all weekend. I only made one major blunder. I exceeded my game expectations, and I had a blast with my friends. Yeah, great, awesome, nailed it.
And that's wonderful. And I have to say as well, I had a wonderful time. I can't wait for the next one. Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about before we close this out?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I left from a Shatterpoint point of view. I could have been in a better spot, but we could have been in a much worse spot. I left feeling good about Shatterpoint. So that's the most important thing.
100%.
I
There's
think
a lot to love, lot to try, new stuff coming. Like,
I'm
just excited for like key operations, legendary encounters, the Battle of the Sands. There's so many ways to play with your plastic toys.
100%. I think I'm with you with this though. Is like I left feeling a lot better about Shatterpoint. Like playing the games, seeing the community, everybody that showed up to Adepticon to play Shatterpoint, and how many people are like, I'm not done. Like, no, like I'm still playing.
Yep.
So
I don't think anyone had like a negative like view on the game overall there. Which
100%.
Well, that's good. You came all that way. It would suck if you were there like, why am I doing this? It's gonna be dead. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
And I got to exceed. I finished 5th at Worlds. I finished 3rd 4th 2 years ago. I got to do better than that. So yeah, I need another year of this.
And
I need another year of just tight games because I feel like even when I lost, I played the best I could, and that's all I can ask for.
the next week, I won't be here, and I think what we're gonna do is Accuser and I are gonna gush a little bit about Legion, and he's gonna talk to me about why I should play it. So come hang out and talk with Legion next week.
Yeah, I'll be out playing at the as I said, Gamers Guild. So it's gonna be fun. We a couple of us agreed to not play Cassian Boss. We had a gentleman's agreement to not do it. So it's gonna be fun trying to play a GT without Cassian Boss in the pre-errata meta. So it's gonna be fun.
I think that's exciting though. That just guarantees kind of like what Nova did, where people like there was a diverse meta at Nova because you did the faction awards and everything to encourage people to branch out a little bit. It's kind of ending up in that same thing. If you take out the Cassian Boss, what does that look like?
I mean, I'll still probably play like a Mando PLC, but then we're talking about like I'm gonna play something I haven't played in a while or at all from my other list, and just have fun with it. So it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a bunch of games against fun opponents, so I'm gonna have a great time. Win, lose, or draw.
100%.
All I can ask for, really.
Yeah.
And with that, Accuser, take us home.
The most Star Wars thing you can do is work your hardest to go and fight in a fighting pit like Rada the Hutt apparently does in the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So be the Star Wars gladiator you think it can be and go to Adepticon next year.
That movie looks so
I got
good.
there.
You did. You did.
I can't wait. Dude, there's a movie theater right outside our apartment complex that does like full food. So like I know where I'm going. I can walk there.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny. Like I know you're in. So like my cousin is from Norfolk, so he's down there a ton. So he knows all the breweries. But I wind up down there once every other year at Norfolk. So
Cool.
we used to go down every September.
I'll be around.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know when I go to DC for events and stuff. So
With that, everybody in Twitch,
Yeah,
thanks for
actually,
hanging
let's
out
do
with
DC at some
us.
point.
We went really long with this one, but there's a lot to
I
cover.
knew this one was. I already told my wife,
So
like,
much to
good
say,
luck.
yeah.
I was like,
So-
you're dealing with the kids. Like, this is going to be a minimum 2-hour episode.
And it was just barely over. So, but everybody in Twitch, thanks for hanging out with us. We will catch you next time. Come hang out with us next week because it'll be fun, and I get to gush about that sick Paz model. Like, 'cause, oh my god. And
The art on that is also good. Like Legion's
and-
art is killing it.
and the news today of the repacking of Maul, I was like,
Yep. Maul, Garsax, and Rookcast. And they are fantastic models. Like they're re-releases of a hard plastic sculpt, but they're still so good.
all right, catch you next time. Bye bye.